Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Players Take episode 333. I'm your host, Justin DeSimone, joined, as always, by my co-host, Montrell Rice. Montrell, how are you doing this week?
I'm numb right now, so if I sound funny, y'all, that's why I had to go to the dentist today.
He's worried about it. You sound fine. Nothing weird going on, so you're good. um, but yeah, having fun at the dentist. Do you like? Are you one of those people who don't like hates the dentist, or are you okay with it mostly?
um, I'm agnostic towards it. I don't really hate it. I don't really
Yeah.
dislike it. I just don't like going to a doctor in general. But yeah, I gotta do what I gotta do. So
Yeah, we're men. We hate dog. I will say, out of most of the medical places I go, I actually think the dentist is the most positive for me. Like, I don't really like the doctor, like getting a physical, and I do not like um I don't really like the eye doctor that much, but for whatever reason I've always had a positive vibe with the dentist. Even when I go when there's like something shitty that needs to be done, like some
they
procedure or something. Like, I
they
usually
are
don't.
more people friendly than like regular doctors. If that make any
Definitely.
sense? Yeah,
Yeah, definitely. Well, also, I think the thing with the dentist, like when you're going for like a cleaning or whatever, it just feels nice to have your teeth clean, you know, like
yeah,
really clean, like
yeah.
obviously brushing and cleans them, but the way they get in there and like they get everything out, So I don't know. So I'm weird, but but yeah. Well, how's life otherwise? Everything, you know, kosher with the job and everything.
Yeah, no complaints. I mean, it. I'm doing a lot right now, so
Mm-hmm.
it's keeping me busy. But I
Yeah.
think after September, or after the end of this August rather, I'll be okay. I just got to get through August and I'll be
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Yeah, I'm in the same boat. Work's been really busy as well, but it's good kind of busy, It's like we just have a lot to do and we got to grind through it. So it's not like
Yeah, yeah.
it's not the shitty busy or shitty situation. So that's good. All right. Well, we have a lot to talk about today, so let's get into the show here. So, for those of you who haven't listened before, this is our weekly show where we talk about video games, video game news, and other topics pertaining to video games. We post at 6 a.m. Central Time on Fridays on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, and your favorite podcast app of choice. And if you'd like to send us questions, you can do so on Twitter at The Players Take, or you can send us an email to theplayerstake01@gmail.com, and we will answer those on the show. All right, Montreal, we got a lot to go through. I'm excited to talk about games. Let's start with what we've been playing. Do you want to start or should
You
I
can go
this week?
first. You can go first.
Okay, well, Death Stranding. So I think I have broken through the wall with this game.
Okay. Okay.
It is starting to click. I'm starting to have fun. I got to the second region, and once I got access to the bike in the first region, I felt a lot better about the game. At that point,
Yeah.
I just think I think chapter 2 is really poorly designed to me. Like, they just spend a lot of hours explaining the game to you, and you're either not playing, or if you are playing, it's not very fun playing. You are only able to walk. You have no access to any of the cool gear. It's a pain in the ass to deliver things. You have no way to fight off anything. Like, you're just it's very like bare bones in a bad way.
Yeah.
Um, I feel like they thought people wouldn't get the game, so they wanted to like piecemeal it to people, but it's too piecemeal. Like, they literally broke up every mechanic into an order, that they want to teach you, and it's like it goes on for way too long, in my opinion. To the point that I was like getting annoyed and I didn't want to play the game
Yeah.
anymore. But I just kind of grinded through it because you kept telling me like it gets better, and you are correct, it does get better. But I feel very validated by the fact that I went on the PSN and looked at the trophies for this game, and I think a large amount of people's experience is the same as mine. They ended up dropping the game because if you look at the trophy completion rate, the prologue and chapter 1 trophies, I think, are like 85% completion and then like 67% completion. And then you look at the chapter 2 completion, and I think it goes all the way down to like 30% or something. Like there
Jesus.
is a
Okay.
humongous fall off in chapter 2 for people that actually were playing the game. And if you get past chapter 2, like it seems like people stuck with the game after that. Because the drop off is a lot lower. I think by the last chapter of the game, it looks like the
Mhm.
completion's around 20% or so. So there's
Oh,
not
okay.
as nearly as significant of a drop off after that. So
Okay.
and from what I've heard, I think they took this feedback to heart with 2. I've heard that two's pacing is significantly better than 1's.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't think it's a great experience, but I will tell you now. Let's get into spoilers a little bit. So if you don't even play the game, you don't want to hear spoiler stuff. I really would recommend taking this game in on your own. Like
Yeah, don't
don't
listen to the spoilers for sure. Like,
yeah, because even just things I'm going to talk about, like gameplay wise, are cool to unlock on your own and like
yeah.
not know they're coming. So yeah, so I'm gonna get into a little bit of spoilers here. So yeah, I got access to got to the second region, and yeah, dude, I got the fucking exoskeleton thing for your legs, and
Okay.
I'm sure there's cooler shit than this in the game, right? But bro, yeah, dude, walking around now is like a fucking breeze. This is incredible. Oh my god. Like I never have to balance anymore. I can run in the open, like I don't feel like cuz dude, early on, like if you have a high load and you like turn your character or camera even slightly in either direction, Sam is fucking tumbling, dude. Like it's ridiculous. And I discovered that the crouch is really overpowered in the game. Like if you're falling over, you just hit the crouch button and he totally stabilizes for whatever
Mhm.
reason. I don't know why it's like that. I don't know if that was intentional design or what, but I mean that's the way it works. So I was just abusing the shit out of that. Like I would stand up and walk straight for as far as I could before he started like leaning one direction or the other. And rather than using the R2 L2 buttons, I just hit crouch instead. And that was working for me. But now, yeah, with this fucking exoskeleton thing, dude, this shit is insane. Like I'm fucking just running through open fields, man. I'm running over rocks and shit, no problem. Like not even falling over, and stuff. So I love that. That is awesome. But I've done the first like group of missions or deliveries you have to do
Uh-huh.
in the second region where you get the first 3 like way stations, not way stations, shelters online. And I went to what is it? It was like Middle Knot City, the one that got destroyed or whatever, by Higgs. And got the thing for the last guy, got him on the chiral network. I'm now on the mission where I need to go recover a server from a giant mule camp, which is fucking humongous. I am currently in the midst of that. So that is where I'm at. Now, I will say, the BTs, like, yeah, it's funny you mentioned that. I don't know if you mentioned this on the show or we were talking about it off air, but you mentioned that the BTs become a little trivial at a certain point, and I kind of already
Yeah.
feel that because the first boss you fight is a BT, and before that fight, I ran into a BT on my own.
Mhm.
Like I
Did,
decided
did
to
you did
just
you get did you get grabbed and then he spawned?
yeah, I decided to
Okay.
drive the bike through a BT zone and see what would happen, and they did exactly what you said. They like I on the way through, they just grabbed the bike and pulled me off of it, and then they like dragged me like all the way to like the middle of the area, and then like a real
Yep.
BT spawned, like a
Yep.
giant fucking dolphin thing jumped out of the tar or whatever. It was fucking freaky as shit. But at that point in the game, I didn't have anything to fight it with, so I just ran away, basically. And eventually I got out of the zone and it despawned, basically. So, but when you fight the first boss, though, they give you those grenades that you can use or whatever. And yeah, it's like if that's how you're supposed to fight the BTs, I mean, it's like kind of, I don't want to call it lame, but like they become a lot less threatening because of this. Like they're not that strong, right? Like they don't actually
Well,
feel that strong. So,
no, you're true. That is true. And I will say for this chapter, when you get caught, you can fight the BTs back, but they
mhm.
do scale, so
Okay.
they won't be as they'll be a lot more tankier and then require a lot more
Okay.
blood grenades and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, I also noticed that all the gear, like the grenades, the ladders, they have like levels to them. So
Yes.
are you going to be able to like I don't I'm assuming you can like research at some point or
Yeah,
upgrade
so some
them
of
in
them you
some
unlock
form.
through. I don't know exactly which ones. Kind of forgot, but some of them you unlock through story, and then some of them you unlock through side missions.
Gotcha.
So,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, I'm in the mule camp though, and I got the bola gun. And bro, that thing is fun as hell, actually. Like, dude, I was like, I got caught by them because there's so many of these fucking guys around this particular camp. This is the one where there's like a giant, like a truck driving around
Yeah.
constantly, and there's literally like 30 or 40 dudes in this camp. Like, it's crazy that they just throw this at you, and it's like. But I got caught by a bunch of them, and I was surrounded by like 7 of them, and I just said, "Fuck it, I'm pulling out the bola gun. I'm gonna see what this thing can do." And I knocked one out, and I was like, "Oh fuck!" So I just like knocked them all out with that. And I'm like, I'm now in the midst of fighting half the camp. Like I just fought like half the
You can
camp,
steal
bro.
that truck too. You know that, right?
I did not know that. I will maybe try to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, okay, so people have said the combat in this game sucks. And I like like with the BT thing, right? I wouldn't say it sucks. It's just a little boring. You're just kind of throwing nades at a fucking giant thing, right? But with the
Yeah.
with the mules, like with the bola gun, I don't think it's that bad. It
Dude,
controls fine. Like,
I will say the combat will surprise you later on as well.
yeah,
This game, the director's cut. Now, I don't know about the early version of the game. I didn't play the early version.
true. That's true. That is a
But the
caveat.
director's cut of the game is like the combat is really good. Also, you get a lot more like actual physical stuff you can do as well,
Yeah,
like hitting and
yeah,
everything like that.
yeah. I punched the
Uh,
guy out. Actually,
yeah,
that was fun. That was
and
funny. Yeah,
you can use your packs, your
yeah.
boxes
You
to
can
punch people
you
out.
can hit him with cargo. I haven't tried to do that yet, but yeah.
um,
Um,
but
yeah,
yeah, like I don't know. I think the game, like I said, I think the game is a really good successor to or what he wanted to do with Metal Gear 5.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I can't wait to play Death Stranding 2 off of that.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, everybody says it's better in every way, mostly. So that's cool. But yeah, no, I don't feel like this combat is that bad so far. I mean, I am trying to play non-lethal. I don't want to like kill anybody. I'm just really
Yeah.
trying to just knock these guys out if they're in my way. But it's cool that they give you the game hasn't given me a lethal weapon to use on them yet, right? Like, so I actually I don't even think I can kill these guys even if I wanted to.
Yeah.
So which is cool. I kind of like that element of the game. It's very like steeped in the world's lore that like killing people in this world is a significant thing to do. Like you are going to cause a void out and like fucking blow up a whole region of space. So it's not a great thing to do. So I like that the game kind of adheres to that, right? It's not breaking that. There's no dissonance there with the gameplay. So no, I mean, I think the thing I'm not figuring out yet is the stealth around these camps, though, these mule camps. Like what's effective? What's an effective way to make sure you don't get caught? Because it's been difficult to keep myself from being seen by these guys. They see you from like a long way away if you're in their sight
Yeah.
line.
Yeah, because you gotta watch out for the scanners and stuff like that. I
Yes,
don't.
that shit is so annoying.
Yeah, I don't know how to dodge them early game. But yeah, they were very annoying. I just kept moving. Like they ping you from the last location that you got first ping from. So if you keep moving, then they won't ping
Right.
you again, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, right. But you have to like if you get pinged in the wrong spot, you're not going to be able to get out without them seeing
Yeah,
you, and
yeah.
that's part of the problem. Um so I'm still learning that though. I mean, largely I don't care about these mule camps. I'm going to avoid them unless the game takes me to them. So I'm not like I'm kind of playing this. I want to play this as much as like I'm mostly a porter. I want to be a porter. I don't want to like fight things. I don't want to fight BTs if I can avoid it, right? Like I am trying to
Yeah.
play it in a way where I don't really like get into these confrontations. So
Yeah,
but
I think that's naturally going to come to you. You're naturally going to be like, I don't want to fight. I just want to deliver, and
right, right.
that's how I was at least.
Mhm. Yeah, because I like that. I think from a design standpoint, this is where I'll give Kojima a lot of credit with that, is like it's very rare. There's it feels like most games, some part of the game is killing things or fighting things, right?
Mhm.
That is one of the crutches of gaming, and it always has been. And I think, yeah, this I got to give this game credit in the sense that I think it kind of encourages you not to do that, right? Because it's not very effective, and there are consequences to fighting as well.
Yeah.
That's why I do think it is puzzling, though, that the story missions seem so focused on making you fight. That's the one thing I think is a little weird, so far. But I don't know. I'll see how
I
the
do
whole game
think
plays out.
you're at the part where they're just trying to teach you combat,
Yeah,
so
that's true.
that's why it's doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, no, it's cool, man. I'm getting the hang of it. I haven't started like rebuilding structures and stuff yet, but I did find this is this area has like roads and stuff that you can reconstruct.
Mhm.
I haven't actually done that yet, but I have put some materials into a couple of them, but I didn't have enough on me. So I mean that's part of the gameplay loop as well. So I mean that's the thing I'm a little, I guess, confused about. I'm guessing there's three areas in the game, right? East Coast, West Coast, and Central US. And like, and maybe then if don't say anything. I'm just
Okay.
speaking out loud.
Okay. I won't tell you
Um,
the same thing.
yeah, yeah. But so that's what I'm guessing. But I feel like the game is taking me through these areas very quickly. So I'm actually really curious, like what the later part of the game is. Like I'm wondering if I come back to these areas a lot or whatnot. I mean, you must in some regard. Otherwise, what's the point of building all this shit up?
Mhm.
I don't know. We'll see. But story wise, I like the world that's been built here. I will say I don't trust what the game is showing me though at the moment. Um, I find it really weird that you aren't running into any normies really. Like it's the only people you interact with are the important characters that you actually physically see them, near Sam. Anybody that isn't important or isn't a mule, like you otherwise never actually physically see them, They're always like a hologram.
Mhm.
I'm finding that suspicious, but I don't know if that means anything. Maybe that's just the way they decided to design the game. I don't know. But so I'm finding that part of it suspicious because like you get to like Port Knot City and then Lake Knot City, right? And these are like two giant city hubs where there presumably there should be a lot of traffic going through these, and there is literally nobody there. It's you and Fragile, and that is it. There's no one else there. It's like, what is going on here? This is weird. Was this them like trying to save on resource usage or something? Like I don't know. It's a little puzzling, in that regard, because it's
Yeah.
kind of the game is like really lonely, because of that.
Yeah, I think that's by design. And I also do think that's like a resource thing. If you notice, all every time you deliver something, like the town is like either underground or something like that,
Yeah.
whatever the
Right.
case may be. So
Yeah.
you never really meet
People.
people. Yeah,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
is very COVID like.
Yeah. 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 That's true. Um. So I don't know. That's I guess maybe one criticism is I kind of do wish there were like you might randomly see another porter running around or something like that'd be cool, But
Hmm.
obviously, I don't know. Maybe it's something that happens later in the game, but yeah, so far it's not been the case because these characters talk about like some of them are like, yeah, I did some deliveries the other day, or whatever. And it's like you never see anybody other than yourself out and about or the mules. So yeah, but yeah, no, it's cool. Like I said, I like the exoskeleton. I'm looking forward to what the later stages of the game looks like, where you get access to like more. I don't know how to say this, like powerful or better ways to transport things back and forth. Um,
Hmm.
so I'm getting into the groove of the game, I guess, and it is hooking me in some ways. So yeah, I think I'm gonna be playing this probably all the way through now. I don't know how deep I'm gonna get with it though. Ultimately, I don't think I want to platinum it. So if that given that I don't, I'm probably gonna play until I'm bored of it and then just start golden pathing it at a certain point. So yeah, that's trending. Other than that, I actually decided on over the weekend because I was like not I was annoyed with Death Stranding. I didn't want to play Liza P, and nobody was around for League, so I was like, "Fuck it." I decided to play Kingdom Hearts Final Mix, Kingdom Hearts One. Montrell, it's been a while. I've been on I don't know, since like Kingdom Hearts 3. I don't know why I was like so that game annoyed me so much. I just didn't have the desire to play Kingdom Hearts, even though I love the older games, right?
Mhm.
But it just Kingdom Hearts 3 just kind of like pissed me off. So yeah, so I started with one. I think what I want to do, I kind of want to play through the series again. And I think I'm gonna try to platinum all these games. Is kind of my thought. Like play them to full completion because I've never really done that with most of them. And then I want to just re-experience them all. So I've been playing Kingdom Hearts 1. I've been playing it on Proud, and I think I played about 6 hours or so, 5 or 6 hours. And I'm in Tarzan's world right now, and man, I don't know. This game, there's just something about this series that is just so it fits like a glove, It's so comfortable. It's so comfortable, right? I don't know how to describe it. Because people when they often describe these games and like people express interest in them, they always say that one's like kind of rough, right? It doesn't feel very good to play compared to the rest of them, and that is true, right? Largely, I'm not just going to sit here and say it's not, but I don't think it's as rough as people talk
Uh,
about it
no,
as,
I I don't know. You remember when I was doing my replay through?
Yeah.
Um, One had the most world detail out of all of them, and I distinctly remember saying on the podcast too. I missed this. I missed being enthralled in in the Disney world. Like
Yes.
in the later
Yes.
games, they become like a background just to have for the main
For the
Kingdom Heart
story.
character. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But in this game, you were like actually enthralled in the concept of the movies that were going on and everything like that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. Like they made the world feel alive. They made like Sword feel really enthralled in the world. The characters came alive and everything like that. So I don't know. It was Kingdom Hearts 1, like story wise, maybe not combat wise, but like every other thing, even gameplay, I feel too. Um it's just superior to all the other ones, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That's in my opinion. So
Yeah. So yeah, I want to focus on the combat real quick. I'll come back to the story and stuff.
mhm.
I don't think the combat's as bad as we all describe it as, like I think it's just different from the other games, right? This game, like combat in this game is very deliberate. Like you need to be
Yes.
deliberate as a player. Like when you swing the keyblade, you need to be sure you're hitting the enemy you're trying to hit, right? Because if
Yeah.
you don't hit with that first swing, sword kind of gets locked in the animation and you don't continue the combo. You have to like hit and then he'll do the full combo. And this game is interesting also in the sense that like air combos in this game are vastly superior to ground combos, just by nature of the animation speed. So there was some unbalanced things that existed in this game, but I don't think it feels bad to play though. If you play it the way it's intent, like the way the game within the game's rules, and you understand those rules, and you don't just button mash. I think that's the thing. This game is not a button masher, right?
Yeah.
From a combat perspective, and some of the later games are a little bit more button mashy. You can get away with that more in some of the later Kingdom Hearts. I think there is still a decent combat system here. Like it feels fine. Like I don't think it's terrible to play. I think it's a little clunky. Sora's like gets kind of locked in animations sometimes. It can be hard to like you can't like dodge out of things necessarily if you're locked into an attack sometimes. And that can be difficult or painful or annoying, but largely I mean I'm having fun with the combat, It's and I think playing on Proud is perfect for me because it's like it's not easy, but it's also not like mega hard either, right? It's
Yeah.
like that right. it's that perfect like balance for me for the different level of difficulty I want out of these games. And so I'm enjoying that so far. And and to get back to your point about the immersiveness of the worlds, right? I think specifically, I think Alice in Wonderland is like really weak actually as like a first world they send you to, because there's literally 5 rooms in the entire world. Like it's so small. But Tarzan is much better, I think, because they split the party up. You're by yourself, you're with Tarzan. You kind of get a little bit of a small period where like, Sora's kind of having to figure things out on his own, which I think is really good to establish him, in this game.
Hmm.
That he's not necessarily reliant on Donald and Goofy or anybody else really. Like he can do shit on his own, right? I think that made sense and was important for them to do in this game. And I think the other thing you mentioned was the movies, right? Like I think that issue with some of the later games is like Kingdom Hearts 1, I would almost want a remake of this game someday. Because I think this is, unfortunately for Kingdom Hearts going forward, this game got to do Disney at its best, like
Yes. Yeah.
all the best movies, like, fucking Aladdin, Peter Pan, Little Mermaid, even I think, fucking Beauty and the Beast is in here. You got Tarzan, you got Alice in like you have all the best like animated Disney movies for the most part. There's some in Kingdom Hearts 2 we get that weren't in this game. But I think that's like one of the biggest strengths of Kingdom Hearts 1 actually is just the roster of worlds we get to go to from Disney. And I am really enjoying that aspect because Amanda and I were actually talking about this a couple weeks ago. It's just that like we're kind of lamenting where Disney has gone in the last couple decades, because when we were kids, man, it was just banger after banger after banger movie. Like they were just pumping these animated movies out, and they were all fucking awesome. And it's just great to re-experience that through this game.
Yep.
And I don't know. It's also quaint too, right? Because nobody knew what this would become, right? Back in the day, I think when we all played this game, we had hoped it would become what it's become, but we didn't know, and neither did Square Enix. So they were just doing everything. It was all new, right? Um, and some of the ideas don't work. Some of them really do work, though. Like some of the things, like dude, the whole beginning of Destiny Islands with like Titus and Waka and Selfie or whatever
Yeah.
is so weird.
Yeah, because they
Retrospect,
just disappeared,
they
dude.
just totally disappear. And then like the cutscene where the Destiny Islands is getting destroyed, like Sora's mom like calls up to him in the
Yep.
house, and he lives in a house too. It's like these like elements from this game never get mentioned again, right? Like the
Yeah.
Sora's mom is literally in that one scene, and that is it. We never hear him talk about parents ever again. They're never mentioned. Nobody brings them up the entire rest of the series, which is the weirdest shit, right?
Well, yeah, that's
Um,
why I thought the game was like a metaphor for like maybe his dreams or maybe like
mhm.
his imagination for reading the books, or he was like reading the books or watching the movies, and
I
then like this
agree
is
with you. I
his
agree with you.
imagination.
Yeah, I agree with you, because like when he wakes up initially, right? Like the first cutscene plays, the intro cinematic plays, and he like wakes up and he's talking to Kyrie, and he's like he was having a dream. That was a dream to him in that whole sequence, but then it happens later. So yeah, it's like I kind of feel like they were maybe going that way with it, and maybe that is where they're going with 4, right? Because in 4 he's like in the quote real world or whatever, like from what we've seen of the trailers and everything they've shown.
Yeah.
um so I don't know, like maybe that's like been the long burn that Nomura's been planning this whole time. Who knows, dude? I don't fucking know. But yeah, I don't know. It's quaint, and I love the portrayal. Like, I just love that all the original actors came back for this too. Like, they didn't have to replace anybody pretty much, in terms of voice acting, which makes this so much stronger, right? Like that makes this game so much stronger, because those people, um, they still imbibe their characters, right? Like Hades is still Hades from the movie, dude. Like you
Yeah.
really feel that they made that come to life. It's fucking awesome, actually. And even like Phil from Hercules too, right? The satyr trainer dude, whatever, that trains Hercules. It's the same voice actor and it's fucking excellent. It's like so good.
And
Like
then he's just
um
silent in Kingdom Hearts 3.
yeah, right. Yeah, and that dude, those are the see, that's the problem with this series is like I think early on people were down, and obviously it's been 23, 24 years now.
Hmm.
A lot of these, I mean, a lot of the actors are dead. They're not around anymore. So it's like, what do you do with some of these things? You have to kind of make concessions in certain ways, and that sucks. So I think that's the unfortunate part about what like the fact that it took so long for them to make the games. Like making two, it was only a 4-year gap. It felt like a million years back in the day, but then like 2 to 3 being a 13-year gap is just so fucking ridiculous, in retrospect. It's like, what were you doing, Square? Like, why did you squander this like this? It's like because now where we are now, I think Square feels like, and this, I think we've talked about this, is that I think they're going to go away from Disney a little bit more with the next game. Maybe
Hmm.
not fully, but that might be where what they have to do. Because the Disney stuff is like, it's gotten worse over the course of the series, and I think that culminated in 3 being really bad in a lot of ways, with the Disney World. So yeah, I don't know. It's just fun to play through this game though. I love the combat. It feels so I don't know. Like I said, it fits like a glove. It just feels so comfortable. It's like casual, but it's not. There's skill to it, and I love that.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah,
it's great, and I'm enjoying the. I forget how powerful magic is in Kingdom Hearts 1. Like I decided to go like the magic build route a little bit with Sora, and dude, it's fucking crazy. Like I'm like one shotting things when I use magic, like multiple enemies at a time. It's fucking OP as shit. So it's cool. I did get stuck a little on the Alice in Wonderland boss. Do you remember that boss? The one that's in the bizarre room with the table that you have to jump on to hit him and shit, where he has the two
oh
like
yeah.
batons he's throwing around and lighting on fire. Oh my god, that thing was so fucking annoying, dude. Holy shit, I forgot how annoying that boss was. So, but yeah, no, it's good. So, how long has it been since you played through the games?
uh, maybe about 3 years.
2 or 3 years? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Did you play through all of them, or
I played through one. I beat one, and then got halfway through 3 or 2. I'm sorry, I got halfway through 2.
oh, so you didn't do them all? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah. No, I'm thinking I'm gonna try to do them all, and I think I'm actually gonna properly play Chain of Memories. I hated it the last time I tried it, but I'm gonna give it a real try this time. I think, because yeah, I don't know, but yeah, no, it's been fun. So enjoying that. I think Liza P is probably gonna get put to the side for now. I will say, which is funny though, that is coming to PlayStation Plus this month. And you might be checking it out.
I might, since it's free, I might check it out for sure.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see what you think of it. When you give it a go. So, I have one more game, but we'll talk about that together. So, if you want to go ahead and talk about your stuff now.
Uh, but yeah, I mean, I've been playing Ready or Not. It's a SWAT game. I do recommend people check it out on YouTube. I'm not describing it too well, but yeah, it's a really good tactical SWAT game. Like the HUD is limited and everything like that. So the only way you check your ammo is actually like taking the mag out the gun and looking at the mag or whatever. There are different methods of actually taking out like tackling a mission. You can go like not you can go non-lethal or lethal. And then you can't
Okay.
just shoot enemies. You have to actually tell them like drop the weapon, and then if they actually up the weapon on you, then you can shoot them, and you get points for that, and you get scored at the end of the mission or whatever the case may be. But each mission is sometime probably like, depending on how fast you go and how tactical you are, like 30 to 45 minutes,
Yeah.
and you will be like um you will be trying over and over again to like get the highest score or get a perfect score and stuff like that. Each mission, even though it's the same objective, the NPCs are never in the same place at all. So every time you do a mission, it's almost like a different mission, even
That's
though it's
cool.
in the same map.
Yeah,
So,
that's cool.
um, yeah, me and my friend have been playing it, and yeah, I love the game, especially because I like guns and I don't know, like tactical shit like that. So it's like really cool to see a developer like uh appreciate like firearms and tactics and shit like that. So yeah, I mean, this game's already been out for PC for years, but now
Yeah,
it's on other consoles and it's cross-platform with PC and other consoles as well. So
yeah.
um, it's only like $50, 40 or $50. So
Hmm.
it's made by an indie developer. So it's really cool, man. It's a really cool game.
Yeah.
Um, and then next game I've been playing is Wu Chang. So I had a whole like I was literally writing out like things I was saying in my notes about this
Hmm.
game.
Yeah.
Because I was at the trash in this game, dude. Like I was hate playing this game for the first 5 to 10 hours of this game. Um,
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
yeah, I really wanted to prove a point that this game was fucking trash. Um, the early game is fucking trash as fuck. Um, this is probably the worst early game of any game I've ever played. As far as like Souls like games, this is a Souls like game. What set this Souls like different from other games, even like Wukong, is that your build diversity is crazy. Um, so instead of like you can upgrade your weapons, but instead of like you upgrade like if you get a long sword and the long sword is called the Thunder Sword or something like that, and then you get a long
Yeah.
sword called the Fire Sword.
Yeah.
Um, you just upgrade that entire class. So that entire class of longswords. So it'll be longsword fire or longsword thunder sword +5. And then your fire sword will also be +5 because you just upgrade that entire class. You didn't upgrade like that particular weapon that you're using. Now each
Yeah.
weapon has its own weapon skill that you can use. And you get a weapon skill and you get a discipline. The discipline is what you unlock, and then the weapon skill is pertaining to the weapon. So like for one of
Yeah.
my weapons, I have something called like a cloud spirit kick, and then the other weapon is the long sword literally turns to a whip if I have something. So
Yeah.
and then my discipline, I can set my discipline for each one as well. But like your discipline is like sword counter, something called a crescent moon arc, and then other stuff like that. And that's the stuff that you unlock through the skill tree. You unlock stats and stuff like that through the skill tree as well. But they're using like the Final Fantasy X sphere grid system or whatever.
Mm.
So
Mm.
yeah, so I think so far, I really like the dual blades. They're trash early game, but mid game and late game they are fucking phenomenal. Um,
Okay.
the one sword build, because you get a long sword that's like a two-handed sword, like a two-handed katana, and then
Yeah.
you get a one-handed sword. It's like a actual like a falchion or something like that. It's not like
Okay.
it's like one of the Chinese swords, and their Chinese like style with the one handed sword, and
Yeah.
that's actually like a magic build that you can do or whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, and then you get a great axe, which I hate slow weapons. You get a spear or whatever as well.
Yeah.
So those are your weapons that you get to choose from. So the game does something else interesting. So when you use your weapon skills or your discipline or even your heavy charge attacks, so you can hold your heavy charge attack to do a heavy charge attack, or you can use something called feathers, and
Mhm.
it's actually part of the plot. People in this world are infected by something called like the avian, like some kind of avian like bird thing,
Yeah.
and you slowly see people start turning into like these weird bird creatures or whatever the case may be. So think of it like the lichen disease for werewolves, but like you're turning
Yeah.
to like some like weird bird creatures or whatever.
Huh. Okay.
So your character actually has like feathers on her arm. She has a disease, but she's not turning or whatever. So she can use that to her advantage or whatever. And
Mm.
you get these things called what are they called? Uh well they call it featherings. but what's it called? Wu Chang. Well, it's called a resource, right? So you get three charges off rip of this thing,
Hmm.
and you use that resource. The way you get that is by shimmerings, yeah. So the way you get your feathering or shimmerings is by like doing perfect dodges or stuff like that. Later on
Yeah.
in the skill tree, you can actually once you unlock like deflect, which is your parry, which I don't really like. Um, unironically enough, the first great sword you get though, the weapon skill is a parry. It's a block, but you can parry with it as well.
Yeah.
Which I don't use the great sword, so or not the great sword, but the great axe rather. But later on in the skill tree, you have other ways to get that resource. Your shimmering, and you can carry up to three when you start, and then you can upgrade up to like five or six shimmerings or whatever. And that's your resource, like I said, to empower your attacks or use magic attacks. Some
Yeah.
magic attacks need like one shimmering, some need three shimmerings, some need five shimmerings. Um, you empower your heavy attacks, it means you don't have to charge them. You can instantly do them but it will use a shimmering charge or whatever. So that's your resource, and I kind of like that. Um, it prevents you from spamming, and also it prevents like you're not on a cooldown like you are on Wukong, which I did not like that you're on cooldowns for an action game. Uh, and Wukong definitely has that
Yeah.
um
Yeah.
or whatever. So if you do perfect dodges and stuff like that, you get your shimmerings back, and you can still do that. Some skill trees, every second attack, uh, every second attack in your combo string gives you a shimmering, and then you can unlock it to where every second attack and then every fifth attack in your combo string gives you a shimmering. So there are like really good ways to constantly get shimmerings. Like even the one handed sword tree or whatever,
Yeah.
which is your magic build, and you obviously will need shimmering that resource. It automatically generates like a shimmering like every 20 seconds or something like that for you. So so I mean it's very cool in that regard. Another thing is I do like you can respec any time in the game and there is no penalty to respecing. Um and I think the game encourages that because I had to respec for one boss that I wasn't doing too hot my current build or whatever. And yeah, the game offers you the ability to respect at any time. And I do like that. I like that it gives you the freedom um and everything like that. So I really think build diversity is going to be. Not to mention, you also get this thing called temperance, where you can use your arm to power up your weapons or whatever. So you
Hmm.
unlock that as well. None of this is like spoilers. You unlock all this like the first like 2 hours of the game, turns 2 or 3 hours of the game or whatever. So you can use that to empower your weapons, and then you get other temperances and different like little modifications and stuff like that to improve that temperance and like those are like buffs for your weapon, like whether it be like a flame buff or like a bleed buff or a life steal buff or whatever. And like you know how Dark Souls they last for like maybe like 3 minutes or 2 minutes or something like that. You can have ways to improve the time of that as well. They are extremely powerful as
Yeah.
well. So I think the game's build diversity is is going to shine, especially in like this game. In my opinion, was designed for new game plus people who
Yeah.
like to do multiple playthroughs. Um, and you don't have to do multiple saves. You can just use the same character, and you can just respect her anytime you want to, and do it like that.
Mm. Hmm.
Um, so I do like that. Um, Also, I do like the environments in the game. I think the environments are very beautiful. One thing I will say this game has um, that blows other Dark Souls, I'm sorry, not Dark Souls, but like Souls like spin-offs out of rip. I haven't seen good map design like this since like Sekiro or like Dark Souls 1, in my
Hmm.
opinion.
Yeah.
It's not a it's an open quote unquote linear world, but like all the levels are interconnected with each other, and like you can unlock different shortcuts to get to bonfires and stuff like
Okay.
that, or in their case shrines. And this game doesn't like like Elden Ring had a whole bunch of shrines everywhere or bonfires everywhere. This game doesn't have that many, which I like because you are like desperately looking sometime for a shortcut and you find a shortcut or whatever the case may be. So it definitely has really good level design into where you loop around back to like the original shrine you found, or you may find one more shrine and stuff like that. So each shrine is like really worth something, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and I do like that. So this game has like, I thought people were like capping on their level design, but like no, the game has really good level design or whatever. Like it's really fucking good.
Yeah.
Um, the voice acting is actually pretty decent. Honestly, I think I just like English voice actors way better than like American voice actors. You can switch between Chinese and English. But I think like when I mean English, I mean like from the UK. I think like English voice actors are just like way better. I think they put a lot more emphasis into the roles they get more than like American traditional voice actors or whatever. I don't know. I think it's not like mind blowing or whatever, but it's not cringe when I'm
Yeah.
like listening to the game or whatever, when I listen to them talk and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's really good. What else?
Would you recommend the game to people?
All right, so that's where I'm also going to get to. I don't want to be spending all my time on this because I know they've been doing this for a while. But like,
Mhm.
so the bad is uh
Sounds
when
like the
I
early game
say
is really bad.
yeah, and this is how I explain it to y'all. Like the early game is really fucking bad.
Mhm.
Like really fucking. It's almost like I don't want to fucking play this game anymore. Bad. Um, like
Yeah.
Death Stranding Chapter 2 bad.
Yeah, I don't know
Like
what like why do developers do this stuff by the way? Like how do they not realize what they're doing, you know? It's
I don't
weird.
know. There are certain points where I feel like the developers hate me.
Yeah.
Like I feel like sometimes they hate the player. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
sometimes they try to do the Dark Souls 2 thing where they just like put enemies randomly. Like they're enemies that are meant to just fuck you up. There's this one area that reminds me of Blighttown in Dark Souls 1. And I legitimately fucking hate that area. That area can go suck a dick. It's not a fun area to play. The boss fight is not fun to play. That's the other thing. The boss fights, the difficulty spikes in this game are weird as fuck, dude. Some boss
Yeah.
fights are like easy as fuck, and then sometime you might find a regular enemy that is harder than the boss. And I encountered, there were like 3 enemies I encountered that are like harder than the boss, harder than like the boss fights I encountered. Even after I did like one of the hardest boss fights I ever did in this game, I encountered an enemy that was harder than her, like just a
Yeah.
side enemy or whatever. And so I don't like the inconsistency in that.
Yeah.
Um, but this game does give you like the choice or the freedom of where to go sometime. And maybe I chose the wrong path to go down because now the other path I'm going down is like significantly easier. I was like, oh, maybe I was supposed to go here first instead of like going to the left where I went before or whatever because I was exploring or whatever. And but yeah, like also when you get knocked down, the animation for getting knocked down is one of the worst things I've ever seen in a Souls like game in my entire
You
fucking life.
saying that there's no
Bro,
invincibility frames when you get up?
you
What
get
is
like
that?
2 or 3 iframes when you're trying to get up, bro.
Oh my
But if the
god.
enemy is, if you're getting comboed or you get like jumped,
Yeah.
you're getting fucked up when you get up. And then you might get knocked down again. So you can get stun locked and just get instantly knocked down all the time. So
Yeah.
the game punishes you really, really hard for that, especially in the early game when you just don't know what the fuck you're doing. Um, so speaking of early game, if you're new to Souls like games, you're like, I'm gonna give Wu Chang a chance or whatever. This game, like I said, it feels like it hates the player because they have this madness system. Now the madness system can work out in your favor. Every time you die, you get something called madness, and that's supposed to represent your feathering taking over your body or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Um, so there are certain stats that you unlock in the skill tree that actually give you power ups for the more madness you have. So if like you get buffs for if you're above 50% madness or if you're above 90% madness, and you can also if you have no madness at your shrines, you can use your madness to buy items. So you can actually I mean, you can actually give yourself madness on purpose if you want to, like, get up to that 50% or 90% or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
And you can buy items as well. So you can buy like little health pots, you can buy little fire pots and stuff like that. You can buy some stuff to help you out. So it's like a trade or whatever. So I do like the madness system. Um, I don't know how you would balance it though, because what I don't like is this. It doesn't apply to boss areas. What I'm about to say. So, if you get killed by a regular enemy and you have like 100% madness or like 95% madness or something like that, it will say on your screen you spawn madness descends.
Yeah.
So, like traditional Dark Souls games, I think even Neo games do this as well. When you go back to get your souls, or your resources that you got from all your enemies because you dropped it or whatever, and you got to go back to the last place you died. So when you do that, so say like that enemy is super hard. So not only do you got to fight that enemy, but now a demon has spawned that looks just like you, but she's like dressed in white and she scales with your level,
Oh
and she's like
man.
a lot better with you. She's a lot
Yeah.
better than you.
Yeah.
Um, so she may have moves that you didn't even unlock yet. So you gotta fight both of them. I will say you can cheese it sometime and you spawn her and then run away and she'll kill everything in the area. And then you can
Nice. Okay.
and then you can try to fight her.
Mhm.
But like I had to figure that out myself. Like I had to figure, that shit out or whatever. So I don't like that system. Also with the madness system, if you're at 100% madness, you take more damage, but you also deal more damage. So if you are going to a boss area and you're at 100% madness, the game double punishes you because it's like, oh, I couldn't beat this boss. Well, fuck you. Yeah, you can do more damage, but you also get fucked in the ass more. Like, so I don't think the game is like, this game is like targeted towards people who play Souls. Like, this is not targeted for people who like never played this genre before in their lives. This is a bad genre. This is a bad game to start this genre on, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Uh, this is for like experienced people like you, like Andy, like me. Um, I wouldn't recommend this to DJ because he doesn't even like Souls like. But if you want to try it, this is not the one to try at all.
Mm.
Um,
Cool.
so that's what their target audience is, and you can tell that's who their target audience is because they're approaching the game like people. Granted, they've been making these kind of games for the last 15, 16 years.
Right.
So I understand why they approached the development like they did, but
Mhm.
even as like a vet, quote unquote, I don't think this is like fun sometimes. I'm just like, dude, like this is not fun. I really think um just the animations of getting knocked down is like very punishing enough. Like that shit will literally make you break your fucking controller. It's so
Yeah.
fucking frustrating. And on top of that, you got to get used to the movement. Her dodge, her animation on her dodge, is kind of fast but slow at the same time. Because if you're like, you gotta wait. So for enemies that have like multiple swing attacks, if you have to dodge into them to like get behind them, because if you try like dodge to the side or whatever, your dodge isn't fast enough to where you can respond to it, you know,
Yeah.
multiple swipes or whatever the case may be. Also, enemies that don't have weapons are like vastly overpowered in this game because you can't deflect them at all. You just have to dodge. And like I said, if you don't know that you have to dodge into them, and get behind them, they can just like really fuck you over. Also, some of the enemies have really, really strong tracking. So that sometimes dodging behind them doesn't even fucking matter because they just track you like gods or whatever. Some of them have like 360 moves and everything. So sometimes I'm playing the game. I was like, you just legitimately fucking hate me. Like, I don't know what you want me to do in this situation. It was one boss that I struggled with, which is the bow sorcerer. So also, I'm sorry, the the way they try to teach you the game is weird as well. So you don't. I think by the time you get to the middle boss, which is supposed to be like a really skill check boss,
Yeah.
um, they teach you deflect. They have a tutorial on deflecting in Clash. So Clash, obviously deflect is parrying. So Clash is, um think of an actual sword fight and your swords are clashing with each other. That's what the clash is. So like
Yeah.
no one's damaging each other, but like you can get actual shimmering off of that, and then like maybe like do a heavy attack and or whatever the case may be.
Yep.
So clashing is cool. I do like the clash mechanic. But the game doesn't really teach you any of this. Like it doesn't teach you clash or deflect like that until you get to this boss. And like I said, if you don't unlock and a lot of people will be using the longsword as their primary weapon. You don't unlock that until way into the skill tree or whatever the case may be. You would have to like um golden path the longsword to get deflect by the time you get to that boss. If you have a secondary weapon, you're like doing that tree, and there's another tree for like basic skills and stuff like that, or whatever.
Yep.
If you're doing that weapon, if you're doing that tree as well, then you're not going to have deflect at all. So that boss is designed around a clash slash um deflect mechanic, and she's like trivial because I was just trying to dodge and stuff like that, like using the build I was using before. Because with one of the one-handed sword weapons, you get this like um you get this, it's called a lacquery dodge, where you cast it and then it stays on you for like maybe 2 or 3 seconds, and if an enemy hits you, you automatically dodge. So it's like really overpowered. But the caveat is the weapon that you're using is kind of weak or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But anyway, like that boss is designed, that main skill check boss is designed around deflect in Clash, and I think that's super bad for players uh who didn't like spec around that. And I like that's a good thing. It's a good thing that you can respect anytime. That's the only way to balance the game. Because if they had it where you got penalized or you had to have some kind of resource to respect, um, I think this game would have not been well received and it would have been really bad design.
Yeah.
I still think that's bad design, but they try to mitigate that by letting you respect anytime you want to,
Mm-hmm.
or whatever. So, I was stuck on that boss for a while until I figured out like, okay, I do have to respect into deflect, and I put all my skill points. I respect and put all my skill points into deflect, and yeah, then I beat that boss. Um, Also, like there's another boss, the bow sorcerer. It took me like legitimately like 6 hours to beat her, or not 6 hours, 4 hours to beat her. Um, I just don't like. I think she moves a little bit too fast for this game.
Mm-hmm.
So like that was another criticism I have of the game. A lot of other people had this kind of criticism too. Some of the bosses feel like they're designed for like a DMC game or like a
Yeah.
Ninja Gaiden game, and this is like a Souls game. So in my opinion, like something happened during development, and they were like, "We're gonna go Souls." Like I think they really wanted to do like a action game, and
Yeah.
they decided the last minute to do this. Not the last minute, but like midway through development, and they tried to accommodate the bosses for that. But you can obviously tell some bosses are designed before that change, and some bosses are designed after that change. So yeah, but overall, would I recommend the game? I would recommend the game if it's on sale. If you can catch it on sale, buy it. I wouldn't play
Yeah.
full price for the game though. That's my
Oh.
recommendation.
You did mention something about this though, that the YouTube/influencer community hates this game apparently. Like this
Oh
has
yeah,
become the
yeah.
game that we are now tired of Souls likes all of a sudden just because of this game specifically after
And
16 years with them.
and to give the streamers credit, right? They did say they liked the game, but they said this is the game that tipped them over. Like they're like, okay, we're tired of this shit, you know.
Yeah,
So
I don't know. I find that funny when there's been so many of these games though. It's just like, but I guess I have a question for you though. Is this, I mean, jumping off of that point, not, I guess it's not, the question's not like, are you sick of these games? But do you think developers should back off this genre for a little
yes,
while?
100%. Yes, I think
Because,
I think we
yeah,
need new, fresh ideas. Um, if you want to mix it, you can. Like I think Stellar Blade was trying to do that.
right.
Um,
Yeah. That's why I like Stellar Blade. I think they
yeah,
really were trying to do something a little different, you know?
yeah, you can definitely tell in their
Um,
design, and I think the next Stellar Blade is going to go more into that action route or
I hope
whatever.
so. Yeah.
Um,
I hope
but
it does.
Yeah, I get. But I do think developers should get away from the Souls. Like, I understand that it was a money pot. I understand the design philosophy is very enticing. I
Yeah.
understand that. I understand that it's like a pure fundamental game, and I think that's why developers like it. And I think that's why gamers like it because it is a pure
It's a
gaming
gameplay
experience.
focused game. Yeah.
Yes, yeah,
Right.
and I understand that, but I also like tired of it. We've been dealing with it for 15 years. And I've already established in my head, and I think Justin will agree with me, at 2019, we already had the peak of this, which is Sekiro. Like we don't need anything else. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Yeah.
and and
Right.
in other games that um that put their own spin to it, people don't even talk about. I don't see people talk about Neo because Neo is so
Different.
vastly different that
Yeah.
I don't even because I personally don't even consider it as Souls like. But I mean, I wouldn't argue with you if you argue with me saying like,
Structurally, it's a Souls like.
yes,
In motion, it's not.
exactly,
Like,
exactly.
yeah, it's
Like Neo,
I
Wulong, Stranger in
yeah,
Paradise, I don't consider those games
yeah.
like quote unquote Souls
Yeah, which
likes.
is why
But
I don't think the Souls community really likes them very much because of that. But
exactly, you're right. You're right.
um
They don't like them because of
these
that.
are game no, and I think that's why we grabbed onto Neo so much though. A, because A, they really aren't Souls like, but B, Team Ninja made those games in a way where like you level up and stuff and you get more powerful and you definitely feel that as you play the game, but they somehow managed to balance it in such a way where the game is still hard, you know, like it's still challenging. Whereas with some of these other ones, like you can out level the content if you want sometimes, and I don't know, like Liza P. This is why I want you to play Liza P. I want to see what you think of it, and if you stick with it longer than I did. And to be fair, I might not be done with it. I might go back to it, but I think that strict adherence to the specifically Dark Souls side of the genre is like it was kind of boring to me. Like I don't know why I I don't find the combat loop of Souls games very fun. I really don't, because it's kind of it's almost like a turn-based game in my head, because it's like enemy goes, you go. Enemy goes, you go. You know, and that's kind of the way the game plays out. It's just you're kind of waiting for a moment to get your attacks in, you know, and it's not these, and your attacks aren't like there's not a lot of, and maybe this is probably why I need to play Elden Ring, but like in my experience with the Souls games, like there's not a whole lot of like intricate combo work you're doing and shit like that. You know, it's like I like Neo for that. There's a lot of skill expression in Neo's combat. I don't really feel that in Souls, you know? It's
Yeah,
like
no, you're
yeah.
100% right. I think you won't like Elden Ring because of that fact. I
Mhm.
like Elden Ring because I started out with Dark Souls as far as like that particular genre or
Yeah.
whatever. If I started out with Neo, I would not like Souls games. Like 100%. So I understand where you're
Yeah, and I
coming
mean
from.
that's largely my experience. I played Dark Souls 3 before Neo, right? But that's
Mhm.
the only Souls games I played up to that point. And then I didn't play it very long. I played it about 20 hours and dropped it. And then I played Neo, and Neo was like, "Oh my god. Like
Yeah.
this is, you know," and now all of them since just feel diminished
And
in to me,
I
you
will
know.
say um I will back you up with that because for me after I played Sekiro and then
Yeah,
I played
Sekiro
Neo.
ruined it. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Yeah.
after I
Yeah.
played Sekiro, because I played all the Souls games, I was like, oh my god, these
Yeah.
games are amazing, except for Dark Souls 2. But I was like, oh my god, these games are amazing. But after I played uh Sekiro and then I went to play Neo 2, because I played Neo 1, but I played Neo 2 first. Now I'm back and
Yeah.
played Neo 1.
Yeah.
Um, but and then I played Wulong and like all the Team Ninja games or whatever. And I was just like, yeah, I can't really go back to like the From Software formula. I can't do that anymore. Like that's why I won't go back and
Yeah.
play Bloodborne, because I skipped Bloodborne and I went to Sekiro or whatever. I went to Dark Souls 3 or was it Bloodborne first, and then it was Dark Souls 3. But I skipped Bloodborne, went to Dark Souls 3, and then I went to Sekiro, and I was like, okay, they perfected this as far as that. I played Elden Ring, beat Elden Ring. Um, Honestly, I really didn't like it. They have a lot of skills and builds that you can do and stuff like that. But as far as like moment to moment combat, like you said, like the combos and stuff, it's just not there for me
Yeah.
anymore. So I beat Elden Ring, and that's why I was done with it. Night Ring actually feels like more so of an action game, but I don't know. I haven't watched like gameplay of it or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, but even Sekiro, like, well, you can say Montrell Sekiro doesn't have any combos either, and it's like, but there's enough there where I can use like the fucking shield or the black feather thing where I can disappear behind a person or whatever. I can
Yeah.
use my resources for that. I can use the shield thing, and they have like different other little power ups and other sword moves and everything like that that I can use as
Yeah.
Sekiro. And not only
Well,
that, the parrying is just like tight. Like the
yeah, and I think the difference, right? What I would my counter argument to that would be like the whole game is a skill check, right?
yes.
Like that's the difference. Like Dark Souls is not that. Sorry, like it's not that.
Yeah, you can't
Um,
cheese your way out of Sekiro, in my opinion.
exactly. That is the difference. That's the point. You cannot out level the bosses, and you cannot cheese your way out of the bosses. You have to beat them the way they are presented. Like it's as simple as that. Like
Yeah,
and that's the reason Sekiro is so good to me. Like it's
yeah.
I don't
Sekiro is
know.
a pure action game, and it's not trying to be an action RPG or anything like that.
Right.
So, um, like I said, I agree with you, and but I'm also I agree with the streamers as well. But me and you have been here. We've been here for 5 years already. You're like, all right,
Right.
God,
Right.
like
Yeah.
let's stop this now, please. Can
Yeah.
we
No, I mean
please
I
make
went through
something
it.
else?
I went through it yesterday. There's been a Souls game pretty much every year since like I don't know 2015, 2014. Like it's fucking
Man, no, I
insane,
think
dude.
even earlier than that, dude.
Probably
Because
even goes even
remember,
earlier. Yeah,
yeah, because
it's yeah.
I would say 20 because we got Dark Souls in like what 2009 maybe.
Yeah.
Let me
It
see,
was 2009.
2009. So yeah, we got Dark Souls in 2009, and I would say uh after 2009. Oh no, actually, the first release of Dark Souls was 2011.
Wait, what?
It's crazy. Yeah.
Hold on. Are you sure? Is
Wait, hold on. Yeah,
that not the complete edition or something? Dark
let me
Souls
see. Yeah, Dark Souls.
September 20th. Really? When was Dark Souls 2? I thought Dark Souls 2 was 2012.
So Demon Souls came out before all of this.
Yes. Was
Demon
that
Souls 2009.
2009?
That's 2009. Demon Souls is 2009.
Oh, okay. Fuck. Oh,
A
wow.
lot of
Okay.
people didn't play. I didn't play Demon Souls. DJ played Demon Souls. He actually likes Demon Souls, actually. So
I
he
played
played
Demon
Demon
Souls
Souls.
remake.
I didn't play
I
the
guess.
remake.
Yeah.
So I gotta play that game.
It's fun.
But he
I see. That's the thing. It's fun, but that game shows the Souls problem for me. Like worse than anything is, I did one of the. You go to like there's like 5 different I don't know worlds or levels you go to
Mhm.
in Demon Souls, and you can do them in any order you want, right? So I did one of the harder ones first like
Mm.
early in the game, and I got mega over leveled, and it made the rest of the game a fucking joke cakewalk. Like it literally, like the bosses couldn't kill me. It was like fucking stupid, man. So it was, that's I didn't have the right experience because I like played shit out of order, but I wasn't like following a guide or anything. I just played it the way I wanted to play it. So it just worked out that way. But so that's kind of what I mean. When you have an experience system in a game and you like level up, your character levels up, there is always the option to sit there and grind. And it's like I know I don't think most Souls players are necessarily doing that, but um I think the power scaling has to be balanced correctly though, and I don't think Souls always gets that right. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
And they usually end up patching in later or something like that when people find an exploit.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I agree with your assessment. I think it's just it is weird that this is the game that people were because I think people were like me, dude. I wasn't expecting this game to be a pure Souls like. I was expecting to be like a Sekiro copy or something like that. That's what I
Yeah,
wanted.
that's what it looked
And
like.
and I think people were like just like me, kind of thrown back by how Souls like it was, and we're like, okay, well, there's another Souls like, let's go. And
Yeah.
and so the last thing I'll say before we close, like for this, uh the Reddit Souls like Reddit are some of the most delusional people I've ever seen in my entire life.
It doesn't surprise
Like,
me.
um,
Reddit
dude,
is full of that.
yeah, dude, it's like the Magic the Gathering, like the one that you
The
like to go
finance
to.
one.
Yeah, bro, it's
That's funny.
uh the Souls like community are now they're mad at like Moist Critical for saying oh there's too many Souls like, and it's like, yeah, dude, there's like 20 Souls like games, bro, and there's probably
Yeah.
some we didn't even mention in this game. So I mean,
Mhm.
it didn't even mention or didn't even play. um so
Right.
like they are a very 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 delusional community.
Yeah, it's just
um
they have a bias and they're not able to separate that from their opinions. Like
yeah,
it's
exactly.
it's it's as simple as that. And uh unfortunately, most of the time people like that aren't worth really interacting with.
Yeah,
That's why playing League is such a nightmare, because that's the reality of most League interactions, is that you are both sides are 100% convinced of how right they are, regardless of what the truth is. And it's like that's why it's so toxic, so
yeah. Yeah,
so
so
yeah.
but yeah, that's Wu Chang. If you can find it on sale, I would just get it on sale for Black Friday. I don't think the game's a complete waste. I think it's like a
Yeah.
7. It's a good 7.
Okay.
Uh
Okay. Well, fair
it's
enough.
just the early game knocks that shit down. So if you get past the early game, then you're okay.
Fair enough. Okay. League. Where you at with League, Montrell? We've been playing norms all week pretty much, so I think we've been
Yeah,
kind of chilling a little
I've
bit.
been kind of chilling. I haven't went back into rank yet. I
Yeah.
just been chilling right now. I might get grind rank after I finish Wu Chang or Wu Chang. But uh yeah. I don't know. I'm content with it right now. I just like us playing norms. We play norms for a while. We get like 3 or 4 games in, then we get off. It is what it is.
Yeah, I think I'm still in the rank mindset though, because I'm just hard playing Jin right now. And I'm just trying to really like get good with him, like really, really, really get good with him. And I feel like I'm there to a large degree. Like, but me and Jed haven't played ranked since last Saturday, so I don't know, I'm just trying to keep my skills up for when he wants to go back into ranked or we have an opportunity to. Because I don't know, it's I think at this point too, I'm finding that like Jin is the most fun character in League for me. Period. Like it's like not even close. I don't know. It's just I just love the way he's designed. I really think it's like one of their best character designs, that they've done. Um, so yeah, I enjoy him a lot. I'm enjoying him a lot. So question for you though. They
Mhm.
announced the global release date for the League of Legends card game Riftbound is October 31st. Are you going to jump in, Montreal? Is this the one that's going to get you?
No, I am not. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
come on, man. I
No,
actually
man.
think it sounds kind of cool, bro. They seem like they were really thinking about how to make this game unique, because there's no elimination in this game. You don't get eliminated. It works off a point system in the game, and so everybody's always in it. You're not like out of the game at a certain point, you know.
Mm.
So I don't know. It sounds kind of cool, man.
I
I'm
mean,
probably gonna get.
I
I'm
might
probably gonna
try
get
it.
like. I might get a little bit of it. If nobody ends up playing it, then I'm not gonna like go into it really. But um, so I don't know. I think it might be worth trying. Just we all get like a starter deck and we just try it out. Um, I think that could be. I think that could be fun. So okay, Montreal, let's get into the news here. We have a lot to talk about. So following up from last week, we talked about the digital games getting or adult games getting removed from Steam and itch.io, right? based on payment processors putting pressure on these companies. So there was one thing that we got a little bit wrong here. We're not wrong, but didn't mention. I wasn't aware of this until after we recorded. So this situation was actually kind of started by a advocacy group
Yes, yeah,
from Australia
that's what I
called
mentioned. I thought I
Collective Shout.
mentioned
Did you
that.
mention it? Okay,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't remember mentioning it when I was setting the story up. So
It was
okay,
started by a well, they claim
Collective
they're
Shout is what
yeah,
their
the
name
collective shout.
is.
They claim they're a feminist group, but I think they're
Yes.
hiding under something else. But yeah,
Yes. Yeah. So they put out a letter to payment processors like a month ago, or and that is what caused this chain of events to happen. So since last week, there's been a couple things that have happened. Number one, there's actually a huge petition right now that people are trying to get support for. Last I looked, there was like 150,000 signatures. That was several days ago that I saw that, so it might be much higher now. People are taking notice of this, and then the second thing is a group called UKIE, the UK Games Industry Trade Body. um, they actually released a statement to GameIndustry.biz about this situation, and this is what it said. So, quote, the UK games industry champions creative freedom while taking its responsibilities to players seriously. Clear and consistent age ratings are a crucial part of helping people make informed choices about the content they engage with. That's why UKIE strongly supports the use of robust classification systems like PEGI across all platforms, including those hosting adult or experimental content. This ensures that content is labeled appropriately, that younger audiences are protected, and that creators can publish with transparency. We believe payment providers and platforms alike should have confidence in trusted age rating systems and in the enforcement mechanisms behind them. End quote. So that's their full statement. So this is getting traction, Montreal. It is. I haven't seen it still widely in the main game industry like news necessarily per se, but I'm seeing it in the fringes in certain places. There is a lawyer named Rick Hogue from Virtual Legality. He did a whole like hour plus long video about this as well, explaining kind of what's going on here and why he thinks this is a really bad thing, a bad precedent. I think it's very much worth a watch if you're interested in this. This is a real issue that I think people should be very concerned about. Like I think we made that clear last week, but I want to double down on this because I think the thing we didn't talk about too much is Steam's acquiescence here is really kind of weird, actually, in retrospect. They just like capitulated, you know? And yeah, they didn't capitulate as hard as itch.io, but I mean, this is Valve, dude. Like, you mentioned this actually, I think, that like they could make their own payment solution, you know, to go around these payment processors, and that would be their leverage, right? That should have they should have pushed harder in this situation. I don't know why they acquiesce so easily. And that's the part that's very puzzling here. I don't know if we'll learn more here in the coming weeks if this continues to gain traction, but I don't know. Is there any other thoughts you had about this though?
um, yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. I feel like this advocacy group is kind of
Yeah.
using the guise of feminism
Yeah.
to do this, and I think this is gonna even push stuff further into fringe
Mm.
directions, if that makes any sense. Like you
Yeah.
already know about the whole Gamergate thing and
Yeah.
everything.
Right.
Um, and another thing, the UK, like, uh, trying to kind of being on the good side of this is weird, considering they just banned all porn and they just like a week ago or a
Wait,
couple weeks.
really? What the fuck?
Yeah, dude, you can't get on a porn site without using your ID
Wow.
now. So a lot of porn sites is just like closing their shit to the
Well,
UK.
that happened here in Texas too, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, you can use a VPN to go to a different state. But like,
Right. Which they can do
and
that
they
in UK as well, but
and actually they can't. They're using IP blockers. ISPs out there are blocking
no
sites.
way.
Yes, dude.
way.
They're blocking sites to
Wow.
VPNs now.
Oh, okay. So it's age verification though. It's the same thing that happened here in Texas,
Yeah, but
actually.
but sites are just like straight up just
Interesting.
blocking
Yeah, they're
themselves
not
to
they're
the
not
UK.
doing it. They don't want to do it. Right.
Yeah.
They're yeah, right.
So I think that's
Wow.
funny that the UK is like, oh, we're as long as you got the age rate system, you're cool. And it's like, but you're banning porn though. So I don't know. It's really weird to me. But I think the reason why mainstream publications aren't really talking about it is because the way the advocacy group I actually went to their site
Yeah.
and saw what they were saying, and um they're branding this as, oh, we're only going after incest and rape content, which, like I said, I have no problem with you doing that. Like, I think that's weird,
Yeah.
whatever. But I do have a problem with it because it's also like, okay, this is a very slippery slope because
Mhm.
now you're you're you can possibly go into other territories, which obviously HIO, they just went nuclear and they were like, we're just taking all this shit off,
Yeah.
or
Right.
whatever the case may be. So it's like, I think that's why like the main publications aren't really tagging this right now, is because they don't want to be on the wrong side. Like, well, they did only say, rape and incest. You
Yeah,
didn't have to take
they're fucking god, they're such
Yeah, you didn't have to take all of the content off. Which,
yeah.
like I said, the advocacies group, they did say, they specifically said those two content of games, and like I said, I don't care or whatever. The problem comes into play though, where there was this one like horror game that kind of focuses on, like, and it doesn't put it in a positive light. It's all revolved around that particular like sexual assault issue or whatever, and it's
Yeah.
like actually bringing awareness to it. That was the creator's intent, and like people who played the game said like, yeah, this is like not glorifying this in any type of way. You're actually the victim in the game, and it's just not glorifying all this shit at all. It's more of a
Yeah.
psychological thing and everything like that. That game got taken off of
Mm.
HIO, so
Yeah.
that one got caught in the crossfire, and it wasn't a porn game. It was a horror game or whatever
Yeah.
the case may be.
Yeah.
So, but
But that's
like,
isn't that the whole point of what we're talking about, right? Like, is yeah,
yeah,
I got caught in the crossfire, and that's what's going to happen when you do things like, yeah, sure. I guess we could probably mostly all agree that like games that are like glorifying rape are shouldn't exist or whatever. But who's actually going to go through and do the like clerical work of figuring out what's actually advocating that versus not, when you're talking about
yeah.
hundreds of games, potentially thousands, maybe, it's
Well,
like
well,
it's
I don't know. Did we play a game? I can't try to remember. Didn't we play a game that had like a pseudo rape scene or something like that? And we were both were like, this didn't have to be in here or whatever. I don't know. I think,
oh, what game was it? You're right.
yeah. And I was like, he was like, we did. It was like, this game didn't have to be in there. But like, that's an example of a game that can be flagged and taken off. It was a major
I will
game
say
too.
I'm thinking of Sword Art Online right now, not as a game, but anime that
Mm,
has a lot of that kind of fucking element in it for some
yeah. In Goblin
reason.
Slayer, uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So it's like, but that was just like to progress the story or whatever. So it's like, and I think
It's
like,
dude, in Sword Art, it's awful in Sword Art Online, dude. It's so
yeah,
bad.
I
I
actually,
can't defend it.
oh shit.
Yeah. It's
um,
it shouldn't be. It's the kind of stuff we're talking about. I don't think it's glorifying, but it's on that line of like, why is this here though at all?
yeah,
You
yeah.
know? Um
But
so
I think like
yeah, I'm
even
trying
Mass
to think.
Effect touches on some of those topics and stuff like that as well. And it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I know The Witcher does,
Yep.
and everything like that.
Definitely.
They don't actually show it, but they talk about it. And it's like, you know, what if even talking about it gets like them banned
Right.
off,
Portraying it at
So
all.
yeah,
Right.
exactly. So where does the line where do we cross the line at, Is it just the act, or is it like talking about the
Well, who
subject?
who decides what the line is? That's the problem,
Exactly,
right?
exactly. Yeah,
That's always the
exactly.
issue with these kind of things. Is like, who decides what the line is? And whoever ends up deciding what the line is, people are going to disagree with the line, and when that is the case, you shouldn't be doing this at all, you know. That's, I don't know,
Because in
it's
my opinion, doing this only brings more attention to those type of games, and then people are going
right,
to go to fringe parts of the internet to get those type of
which is
games.
the opposite of what you want, right?
Exactly. Like when those games are on the market, a lot of people didn't even know those games were on the market because people either
Yeah,
shunned them or like
yeah,
no one was really buying them. You had like maybe like .01% of the population of gamers buying those type of games or whatever the
right.
case may be.
Banning things
So
makes them more interesting inherently. We've
exactly,
seen that over
exactly,
the course of human history. Prohibition
ex-
was the most spectacular failure in the history of any governmental entity. It's
exactly,
like, so
exactly.
yeah.
So
Um,
that's all I have to say. But like, I think this is a very, very, very slippery slope. I I can't ban like that's like me banning white people from saying the N word or whatever. Like it's still I don't want you to say it,
yeah,
but
we've been soft banned, right?
yeah,
Like just let that be enough, right?
yeah, exactly.
We don't need to hard ban it.
Yeah,
So
exactly. So it's like a taboo type thing, right? Society
yeah,
knows not to
right.
do it or whatever.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. All right, let's move on to our next story. We'll continue to watch that one, by the way, as more news comes out. I don't know how much more we'll see, but if anything major happens with that, we'll definitely talk about it here. Next is Montreal. So, okay, we've been talking about Battlefield 6. The reveal happened this week. Game's coming out on October 10th. We got the multiplayer reveal. There was like this whole big stream they did actually today. Uh how's the game look to you? Are you excited?
Yeah. I
Okay.
thought the game was gonna be very Call of Duty-fied,
Yeah.
and it looks like they got the sweet spot, I would say. It is a little bit more faster than a traditional Battlefield, but it actually reminds me of Battlefield 3 a lot. So
Yeah.
it's like Battlefield 3 uh point 5 in my opinion.
Yeah.
It looks really cool. Uh I was watching like what I was watching was like other people playing it on PC and they were playing at like a high frame rate or high FOV. And it looks like it was going super fast because like they're on mouse and keyboard and they're doing all this crazy shit and everything like that.
Yeah.
But I do want more of a movement penalty for I don't want the Call of Duty crowd. I'm sorry. I just don't fucking like y'all. And I will say that. I don't like the Call of Duty crowd. I don't like the way y'all play video games. I don't like the way y'all play FPS shooters. I don't want that twitchy shit in Battlefield.
Yeah.
Go to
Yeah.
Call of Duty for that shit. And I'm not moving on this. I know a lot of people might say that's a hot take and stuff like that, or you should be open to all gamers. Like, no, I don't. We need to start gatekeeping more. In this game, I want it. I need.
You've
I'm
long
sorry,
held
but
this belief. Bring gatekeeping back.
yes, and
I mean, to be fair, you're not wrong in a lot of ways. Like, I mean, no, I mean, it's just, dude. Like, not everybody is a positive force in whatever space they're in.
yes,
And I think that's kind of what you're trying to get across here is that the Call of Duty players are not going to be a positive force in Battlefield. We don't need them here.
yeah. One thing I am really happy for is they got rid of the operators. Like I was saying in the chat, actually I wasn't saying it in this chat, or I did maybe say it in the chat, but I don't know. I was complaining on Twitter about Battlefield 2042. One of my best friends who I play Ready or Not with, he loves Battlefield 2042. He's like every time, like when they were doing updates on it or whatever, he's like, "Hey man, they fixed it, dude. Like you should come back and play." And I would come back and play, and I'm like, "Nah, man, it's not." He's like, "I don't understand. Like they fixed the game. The bugs are guns are balanced and everything. They got these cool guns in here and everything." I was like, "They fundamentally broke the game with operators." This
Yeah.
game, Battlefield operates on teamwork. You can go 40-1 in Battlefield and still lose the game. That's what I like. It operates on teamwork, dude. Like, I don't need operators. I don't need like this pseudo hero shooter shit. None of that shit. I want to be a grunt on the battlefield. I don't want to be fucking Master Chief on the battlefield,
The
bro.
hero. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Right.
don't want to be the
Right.
hero. I want to be a fucking grunt on the battlefield with a lot of other
Pog.
fucking grunts Yeah, cog in the fucking machine. Like, just let me do that, bro. Let me, you know, release myself from reality and just give me a cog in the machine for once, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I'm gonna get put in the meat grinder, and that's what Battlefield's all about. And this game seems to be taking you, putting you in the meat grinder. Also, I like the destruction that's in there. Very good. It's not as destructive as, still not as destructive as Bad Company 2, but they're getting there. I do like the portal system. They're bringing that back. That was in 2042, where they had all the assets from the older games, and you can make a custom game out of, like, so if you want to play Battlefield 2042 or Battlefield Bad Company, you have the assets to do that and build a server. You can rent a server, build that server, and then y'all can play Battlefield 2042, or I'm sorry, Bad Company, but in a new engine with Bad Company assets and stuff like that. So I thought that was pretty cool, actually.
Yeah.
And they brought that back. The multiplayer looks good. The class system looks good. I'm pretty sure DJ, from the way he sounded in the text message, he probably doesn't like the class system where how it restricts you for weapons. I love that shit. I
I
don't need
love
my
that too.
sniper. I
Yeah.
don't need my sniper running with a fucking MG44. Like, why are you running around with that, dude? You're a sniper in a ghillie suit. I need you to have
Right.
DMRs and
If you want
snipers.
that, go play Apex or
Yeah.
PUBG. You know, it's
Or
like it's not.
if you want that light machine gun, play the support. That's
Or
what they
yeah,
do.
sure, sure. Yeah, yeah.
So
No, I get where he's coming from though, in the sense that like you want weapon flexibility in the sense of like you don't want to be forced to use weapons you suck with or you don't like playing, right? Just to play a weapon you do like playing. Like that
yeah,
is kind of, that probably could be an issue for a lot of people, but like I wanted to know what you thought, cuz like I mean I expressed this I think last week or a couple weeks ago. It's like I really want this game to be good. I've never played Battlefield. I would love to dive into one of these. This seems like the kind of shooter I would really enjoy. But they just haven't had a good one in a long time.
yeah,
You know, it's been like a shitty situation with it. So I'm hopeful here, and I'm willing to dive in with you too, right? I want to be a cog too. I love that. I love that. Like I really like realism in my shooters more often than not. Obviously, like arcade shooters like Apex can get me as well. It's not completely mutually exclusive, but I prefer, if I'm playing a military shooter, you know, like a modern military shooter, though, I want it to be closer to realistic, you know.
yeah,
And you know, in the army, you have classifications of people, right? Like there's different positions in the army. Not everyone's gonna be running around with, like you said, a sniper and a fucking, you know, fucking M4, you know, at the same time. Like that's not they don't deploy those weapons together. You have a role, you know, like, and you were
yeah.
given a role, and I like that element to the game actually. So I'm willing to jump into that too. I think I don't know what role I would personally play necessarily. I think I do like the idea of being a sniper actually, like you know, in this game, um I'll have to play it first. But what about the destruction? How does that look to you?
No, yeah, I said the destruction looks really good. It looks
Yeah.
on par or a little bit under what Battlefield Bad Company 2 had. Um
Hmm.
I like that. Uh yeah, if you are a sniper and you want to make a fucking sniper's nest, all right, I'm about to blow a hole in this wall and that's gonna be my sniper's nest.
Yeah.
And you can do that in this game. If there's a sniper in the sniper's nest, I can't bring him down. Well, fuck it. I'm just gonna bring the whole building down.
Blow
And
the
then
whole
he's
building
dead.
up. Yeah.
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 So
Yeah.
I don't know. I like that fluidity in the game, whatever the case may be. Like having also vehicles, learning how to control a vehicle is an actual skill in this game. Like not like a skill that you can unlock, but like an actual skill to pilot these vehicles, because they don't pilot like, you know,
Yeah.
normal vehicles or whatever. They actually have pitch and roll and all this other stuff, and yawn and lean forward, lean back and stuff like that. So if you see a guy like controlling a fucking helicopter with like precision, dropping people off and then blowing people up and shit like that, he had to practice that shit. He had to go through the ringer for that shit.
Yeah.
Same with airplanes and jets and stuff like that. They had to go through it. The only thing that's kind of easy is the tanks, but like you would need a whole support for a tank.
Right. You can't just roll up by yourself and kill everybody.
Yeah, exactly. Because you'll get blown up instantly. You need to support people because they usually are the engineers. I'm sorry, engineer class is usually the class that can repair stuff, and you'll need them either inside your tank with you or like walking next to you with like a fucking drill tool drilling into it to heal
Right.
you or whatever the case may
Right.
be.
Well, yeah,
So
you need to be defended, right? Like from because I mean, any infantry could just walk up and blow you up if you're in a tank.
exactly,
You know, it's like
exactly.
so.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I like what they're doing with the game. It looks like they actually know what Battlefield is about. And
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. Looks
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah. No, I think it looks good, and I don't know. It they didn't talk about single player as far as I know, so I don't know if single player is going to make it in launch. But
It
does
may
that really
not.
matter?
And I mean, to some people it might, but they haven't had a good
Yeah.
single player campaign since. I mean, people say Battlefield One, but in my opinion, Bad Company was like the last one that had a really good campaign
Which
to
that
it.
was like what 12, 13 years
Yeah,
ago or
yeah.
something fucking ridiculous. So yeah. Well, I mean, we talked about it though. This is Dice's like really last opportunity to get this right. So um we'll we'll see how it does here. So okay, cool. Moving on to our next story. And this one is of particular interest to you and me, I think. This is the thing I was the most excited to talk about today. Capcom has given the latest financial report, and their last quarter was not good. Was very very bad, and um, the reason for this is Monster Hunter Wilds has seemingly completely cratered, like completely cratered in sales during this quarter. So this was from April this year to the end of June this year, and Monster Hunter Wilds sold 477,000 copies after coming out of the gate selling 10 million in the first month or so of the game's release. That is a 95% drop off in sales for
Holy
this game.
shit!
And just to go through the full rankings for them in terms of sales, just to show how stark this is. Devil May Cry 5, not a new game, 1.782 million units. Resident Evil Village, also not a new game, 923,000 units sold. Resident Evil 4, 706,000. Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, 635,000. Devil May Cry HD Collection, 594,000. Street Fighter 6, 538,000. Devil May Cry 4 Special Edition, 495,000. Resident Evil 2, 482,000. Then Monster Hunter Wilds, 477. And then Monster Hunter Rise, 389,000. Dude, I mean, Montreal, this is unheard of with Monster Hunter. I mean, what do you think is going on here?
I think the biggest culprit, unfortunately, is PC. The Steam
Mm-hmm.
reviews. I think people don't like um what's been going on with the performance. I mean, also Wu Chang has had this issue as well. I didn't mention it because I'm playing on PS5, but on Xbox and Series X, Wu Chang is like, um, oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Xbox and PC, Wu Chang is not doing too well as far as like performance wise.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with Monster Hunter on PC only though. It's not doing well at all, and it's getting a whole bunch of negative reviews. Also, I personally think too. Another part of this is like the end game, man. I think a lot of people reach the end game,
I
and
think
then people.
that's yeah.
I think a lot of vets like us, we're not telling people to run and buy the game because we're just like, just wait till G rank, dude. Like, don't
That
buy the
is
game, bro.
yep. Yep.
And I think a lot of people are like listening to these people and like, yeah, maybe I should just fucking wait. Because
Yeah.
not only is the content like rolling out being drip fed to us, but which they changed by the way, but the simple fact that we had to complain about it for them to change it is wild to me. But they
Mm-hmm.
used to have limited time monster hunts for not like crazy like little wacky monsters or whatever, like you're going against a tiny like Kutku or whatever. Like for arch tempered Radau or whatever the case may be, for like staple monsters that have like staple states that were in fucking worlds.
Yeah.
Uh they're a limited release. Like, oh, you can play, Arch Temple Redown from April 30th to, May 5th or whatever. You're like, what the fuck? Like, I can't.
Yeah,
I gotta work or something like that.
what the
Like,
fuck? That was so fucking weird, dude. I can't
yeah.
believe they were trying to do that, man.
So, I mean, they did. And to their credit, they got rid of it. But, uh, I want to play the game on my own time. Like, I don't want to have to come to. They're running this game like a fucking mobile game to me, in my opinion, and I fucking hate it. And I actually tweeted about this, and I said this as well. I said we should have gatekeep Monster Hunter harder. Like, I like that Monster Hunter got popular, and we're able to get wilds, and we're able to get like the amount of money that's poured into Monster Hunter because it's a really great franchise. Um, I mean, both me and you say that. Like the core mechanics, even the Monster Hunter Wilds and Rise are like good. They're the games are like never below a 7, honestly.
Yeah.
Like legitimately, right?
Right. Yeah.
So,
Sure.
and even at its worst state, Rise was in its worst state, I still gave that game like a 7.5 or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
And
Right. Right.
these games, but now I feel like
They're cut
now,
above, right? Like they need to do more than just be
yes,
solid,
they
right?
they
Like
need to be
it's
what they were back in the day. They like this team. I don't know if the team's getting lazy. I don't know if the team's being split apart too much. I know they have 2 teams, but they used to really care, and now it's like I can tell they still care, but there's too much money at stake for them to actually like
I think they're
taking
sorry.
chances or whatever. I don't
Yeah,
know. I don't know.
I think they're Mickey Mousing the player base too much with
Mm,
content. I think that's one of their big problems is like they're trying to like turn this into a live. We talked about this with Rise, right? It's like they're trying to make this series into like a pseudo live service type game that it's something that you constantly play and they drip feed you new content and you come back and you're constantly like engaged with the game, right? And they are woefully wrong if they think the way they're drip feeding content here works because they're releasing one monster every 2 months. That's not content. That's not going to keep me engaged. Like, but they're fooling themselves if they think that works. And maybe it does. I mean, obviously they have the data, right? But I don't think it's working. I think the word of mouth in this game was actually pretty poor overall. I do think the PC thing is probably a large amount of this, like probably
mhm.
the majority of this going on. Because they just very recently released a patch, I think earlier this month that fixed a lot of the PC performance issues finally. And there's a little bit more positivity coming out now. But I do think though the game's design has I think Monster Hunter has just been slowly kind of degrading into this as like incredible as the game controls and looks and feels and plays and all this. It's like the actual joy and enjoyment in the game hasn't gone up with all that. It's like it's actually kind of the opposite for me, frankly. And Master Rank usually fixes this problem. Or I gotta stop calling it that. God, they got me, bro. G Rank usually fixes this, right? Usually
Yeah.
fixes this problem because there's enough content in G Rank, there's enough monsters in G Rank, there's enough difficulty in G Rank to keep me and you, people like me and you, engaged, right? And that will probably be true here for Wilds too. It's just they can't keep doing this though. I do think this model's starting to like not work, for them because even Rise wasn't a huge seller relative to other Monster Hunter games.
Yeah.
It was still a big game, but and I mean it was a huge financial success for Capcom, but I think in the pantheon of Monster Hunter, like it wasn't some crazy insane seller for them. So I I don't know. There's actually somebody, I put a Reddit thread in here. There's somebody who says something. I just want to read this comment because I actually think there's some good points in here. So, quote, I think you guys are giving short shrift to the idea that the Monster Hunter series has been moving towards greater accessibility for over a decade now, and it's never been entirely clear which changes fall on the good side of the line versus the bad. And he says bad, like, huh, okay, I basically can never lose a hunt now because I have too many ways to avoid or heal all damage. And then
Mm,
even some of the easy cases aren't actually cases; they're outcomes of the result of several tweaks all converging. And the quote there, and I think he's on to something here with that, because this is true. Player power has generally gone up with every Monster Hunter game.
yeah.
Especially these more recent ones where they're giving us things like the mantles, the ghillie mantle or the fucking healing mantle and things like that. And potions are easier to use now. You can run while you're drinking a potion. You never used to be able to do that in older Monster Hunter games. Those like little tweaks that they've been making over time have now added up into a game that is really easy, you know?
Well, not even that. You
And
remember like the gathering? You like
yeah.
we had to like as a community, you had to come together and like figure out what gathering nodes were there, and
Mhm.
then you had to do it. You had to get the gathering nodes, and they won't respawn at all. Like
No, you had to literally go on gathering runs to get
exactly,
enough materials to upgrade your shit. Like, I
yeah,
remember doing this in older Monster Hunter games, like 4 and even Generations and 3 Ultimate and stuff,
yep,
where like I would go on a gathering mission, or you just go on like a survey. I forget what they were called, the field surveys or
yeah.
field.
Field surveys. They're called field surveys.
That was basically just like free roaming. You got to free roam. You had no particular objective, right? On the map, but you would go run that constantly. Into what Montrell said, you would go hit all the nodes, and then you would leave, and you would go do it again, and you would hit all the nodes, and you would just do this over and over until you got enough materials for what you needed, right?
Yep.
You don't have to do that anymore. Like with these games, like you don't go do things like that. They just made everything so streamlined and easy.
Yeah, I, I think that hurt the game. I mean, Rise had a pretty good balance of that because I remember like I had to farm a couple materials and stuff like that in Rise.
Hmm.
But I do think um even your rare items like your Rathalos ruby or your not Rathalos ruby, your Rathian ruby and your Rathalos plate and stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
remember those used to be like hot commodities and stuff
Oh my
like that.
god. Now it's like
And
I
yeah,
just
now
look for the fucking thing on the map and I get one.
yeah,
It's
like
like
now you get one for every hunt, which I as a grown adult 36 now, I appreciate, but also I hate because it's like, bro, like there is no there is no more
this
like
isn't the series I wanted to do that,
yeah,
right? I
like
appreciate that with other games. I don't think Monster Hunter's that game for either of us.
yeah, because I like fighting the monsters, dude. Like give me a reason to
100%.
fight these monsters.
No, and you
You know?
remember one of my biggest complaints too from when we were playing this game, and the reason I fell off it so fast is how fast the hunts are. You know?
Yeah.
Like you're killing these monsters in 4 minutes or 5 minutes. It's like, what's going on? Like that's not normal. Like I don't fucking I like even in Rise it wasn't that fast. Even like max build. It's just like, dude, it's like they've gone they've gotten to the point that it's like they've just taken out, like, you can't enjoy the hunt and you can't be immersed in a hunt that's so short. I don't know. I feel like they've lost the plot a little bit of what Monster Hunter is, and which is funny because like design wise they haven't, right? Like I love Wilds from like the traversal aspect of the game and the map and everything and the way the world is, like the maps are. I think they did a great job with a lot of that stuff, dude, but it's just like for whatever reason they really missed on like that combat and progression side like really badly, and G ranks their chance to fix it, right? So, and I'm
It
sure they're
it,
working on that, and I
it
hope they
is,
are.
but I think I think we're a minority.
Yeah,
Because the
that's
vast
true.
majority of these comments are because of the PC optimization, and I
Yeah,
don't think that's
definitely.
I truly don't think that's what the issue is. I think that's a surface lining issue. But if you peel back
Like
the
PC
layers,
players are overestimating their importance
yes,
here.
yeah,
Yeah,
like you said, I think it's like this guy saying, like you said, it's just a constant like streamline of stuff. Which, like I said, I don't mind because you want to get new players in, and
yeah.
I usually use like, and I love DJ to death. So I usually use him as like for stuff I don't play that he likes that he probably would like to get into. This was a franchise he wanted to get into. It still didn't grab him. So like,
Yeah.
what are you doing? You're doing all this and you still didn't grab that player. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
he is a
Right.
grindy player. Me and him grinded through fucking Destiny for 300 to 400 hours with each other. So I know he loves to grind. We grinded through fucking Final Fantasy with each other. So I know he likes to grind. This game still didn't grab him, you know? So it's
Yeah.
like, um, who are you doing this for? You know? So I really want them. I really want the next Monster Hunter to like really kind of go back to the roots of yeah. To me, this is like this Wilds was coming, right? We all knew this was coming, but now maybe it's time to really back in, guys. Like
Yeah.
we got our open world Monster Hunter game. Let's really back in and let's like go back to the basics. I like the combat progression. I do like that. I don't want the old style for combat progression, but I do want the stuff that was like associated with that. You know what I'm saying? Like the gathering missions.
Yeah.
Remember there were like just missions where you had to hunt like 5 Jaggies or something like that. Like I want those type of missions where like
Yeah.
it sounds like really, really rhetoric or really, really stupid, but those added something to the
Well, there's
game.
like a build up, man. Like
Yeah,
you're not fighting Ray Dow within 10 hours in the older games. You know, it's like that's what's happened to Monster Hunter. Like we are like zooming past the build up phase of these games where I remember, dude, I remember in the older games, right? The first mission you get is go kill, like you said, go kill five Jaggy, like the little ones. Like you're not fighting a big monster for a few quests. Like go gather a few mushrooms. That's a quest. You know, they do a few things like that, and then eventually you fight like a Jagia, one of the bigger ones. And like the fucking it it slow built you up to the point where you fight your first like really big monster, because even World did this, right, where like Anjanath was like that first like wall, and that was a several hours in.
yeah,
But Anjanath's not like a high end game monster. You're fighting Ray Dow in this game a few hours in. It's like it's too fast. Like they're speed running their own game. Like they're just like the way they progress the player is I think out of whack. Like they've like lost the progression. I feel like I don't know. It's because it's like I don't because this is the thing with Monster Hunter. The second you are able to successfully hunt a monster, your gear level goes up to that point because you are now going to go farm it and you're going to get everything you need to build that armor loadout. That's why it being harder to farm or the monsters being harder or the drop rates being lower, that makes the game feel more rewarding
yeah,
because you have to do more to get to that break point, of like that next armor set or whatever that is. Now it's just literally like, dude, I changed my armor like I don't know, a few times in the campaign. Like it's not. I didn't, dude. Like I told you guys, I don't know. I don't know if I don't remember if you guys had the same experience, but dude, I did. I carded like I feel like I can count on one hand the number of times I carded up until the end game. Like the game's not hard at all. Like it's so, it's just it's too much in the direction of being player friendly. It's like I don't know. It's like Monster Hunter's not interesting when it's like that. You're just mashing buttons and you don't have to think about your positioning, and you're like all those little nuances that make Monster Hunter really interesting aren't even relevant really that much. It's like if the monster can't kill me reliably, then I don't know. It's like and I don't think that feeling should be exclusive to Endgame, by the way. Like I think people would say like, yeah, oh yeah, Arch Tempered Arcvel will one shot you, bro. Yeah, sure it will, but I shouldn't have to like get there to have that feeling, like because then you're like kind of that might be another reason players are bouncing off the game because the game is so easy up to that point, and then all of a sudden you have this difficulty spike at the very end, when you're doing your like late game farming, and they're not prepared for it, because the game hasn't been conditioning you to that level of difficulty the whole time. It's just it's like these are small things we're talking about, but they add up into a situation where like I think they missed with the game. We'll see what this next quarter looks like, I guess, for this game. But um I think G rank is really important this time. Like really, really, really
No,
important.
they have to knock G rank out the park this time. Like,
Yeah.
really, dude. If they don't, this could. I don't want to say create a franchise, but this will make them go back to the drawing board for like the
Yeah.
Rise
Whatever the
2 or
next game
whatever.
is going to be
Yeah,
very interesting if they don't turn it around.
yeah.
Um. So we'll see. I don't know. Okay. Anything else you want to say on that one?
Well, also, I do want to say I don't like how they're just whoring the franchise out. Like, I don't know, we're getting all these stupid collabs, and it was pretty bad in World, but it's abysmal now. And also, like, now they're like trying to cater to the Gooners and stuff like that by giving bikini outfits to Gemma and shit like that. And it's like, dude, come on.
Where? How did we get here, bro? Yeah. What
Yeah,
is
bro.
going
Like this is why we should gatekeep this franchise, bro. Like Monster has never been about this. They tried to do it like with their old games and stuff like that. Like some of the armor was like very skimpy, but that was like 1 out of 20 armor that was skimpy. I don't need that shit in my Monster Hunter game, bro. I just want to fucking hunt monsters. That's it.
on? Yeah. Right. Yep. All right. Fair enough. Let's move on to our next story. There was a Nintendo Direct today. Partner showcase. We're not going to talk about every game. I just want to go through the main ones, the biggest ones that were shown. So Monster Hunter Stories 3 was shown. Have you played any of the Monster Hunter Stories games or no?
No, I'm probably gonna get flack for this, bro. But I think Monster Hunter Story is nothing but anime slop. Like it diminishes the quality of Monster Hunter in my opinion,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
don't like it. I tried to play it when it was free
Yeah.
at one point, and I was just like, this game's fucking
It's
not
just
for me.
JRPG nonsense.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Because yeah, this would be a great opportunity for them to actually expand on the lore of the Monster Hunter world. That was like my thought when I was watching this trailer, and it seems like maybe they're trying to do that here. But knowing Capcom and the way they storytell for Monster Hunter, it's probably some encapsulated thing, and they don't mention anything outside of this story, like in the game, and it's
Hmm.
just like you couldn't actually connect it to anything because of that. Is kind of my vibe. I remember when I first saw Monster Hunter Stories, I was like, oh, cool, turn-based Monster Hunter. That sounds kind of cool. But then I like saw the gameplay and I was like, I'm good. It's like I don't know. I don't think it's not super exciting for me. So, but yeah, this game's coming in 2026. If you're a fan of that franchise, that's a big one for you. Then there was another Hyrule Warriors. I think they had already announced this game, but they showed some more gameplay. Age of Imprisonment. I don't think you're not a fan of these kinds of games either. The Musos.
No, not really. I mean, I like
No.
them. I like some of them, but not all of them.
Okay, fair enough. And then it was a whole bunch of just like ports of shit that's already out. There was not a lot exciting there. But then there was two new games shown from
Yep.
Square at the very end, which is interesting. The Adventures of Elliot, the Millennium Tales.
First day buy, man. I'm getting that
This is
shit.
it. Really? Okay. This is an
Yeah.
HD 2D game. It looks like Octopath Traveler, but it is an action RPG. That is an isometric action RPG. So yeah, you're in on this one, huh?
Yes, yeah.
I think it looked
Yeah.
really good too, personally.
I You know what it reminded me of? I was like, Nintendo should make like a Link to the Past or something like this, like remake it in this style.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, it looks really
Yeah.
cool.
That'd be
So
kind of cool. That'd be interesting.
yeah.
Yeah, no, it looks really good. Art's beautiful. I think this style that Square has, I don't know, copyrighted, trademarked, whatever, gotten people to agree. HC2D, they do a good job with it. It looks really good. They've gotten, better at it over time, but yeah, I don't know. It looks cool. I will say the fairy character, was fucking Faye, dude. It was making me laugh so much in the trailer, where where the Nintendo trailer guy was like, you have a fairy partner named Faye, and then the game plays audio of her going, "Hi, I'm Faye. I'm a fairy," at like literally back to back. It was fucking hilarious. Oh my god, this is so dumb. It was
You
like
know,
the
Nintendo.
top comment. That was the top comment on the YouTube video, dude. It was like so funny. But but no, the game looks really cool. It's coming on, let's see, 2026. We didn't get an exact date, but it's coming next year. So um I don't think, I don't know if we know other platforms right now. It's definitely Switch 2. It may be exclusive for a little while. They for some reason tend to do that with these games. They did that with Octopath as well. Um so yeah. Anything else on that game?
Nope.
All right, and then the other one was Octopath, Octopath Traveler 0. Looks like it's going to be some kind of prequel. Same art style as the other games. Looks like the battle system is largely returned as well. And this game is coming on December 4th, 2025 to Switch 2. Montreal, have you played Octopath before?
I haven't played Octopath Traveler, but this game looks really cool. For some reason, it
Yeah.
looks way better than Octopath Traveler. If that makes any sense. So
The older ones?
yeah.
Yeah, because I played Octopath Traveler 1 back in the day when that first came out, and
Mhm.
I think I played it for about 15 hours or so. It just it didn't stick with me ultimately, but it was pretty well done. People really rave about Octopath Traveler 2 though, a few years ago, and
Mhm.
so I don't know. I think there's a group of people that are definitely excited about this. It is interesting though. When I was reading the YouTube comments for this whole thing, and man, people were kind of annoyed at Square. They're like, "Why are you continuing to make these fucking games? Like, who wants these?" And I was like, "Damn, dude, I thought people liked these games."
Yeah, I thought so
Um,
too. So people don't like these games.
I mean, at least in the YouTube comments of that video, but that was like the main sentiment I was seeing. It was a large majority of the comments was that.
Mm.
So, um, so yeah, it was interesting, but I'm probably not gonna play this game. I don't know. I'm not particularly enraptured by these turn-based JRPGs anymore. Never really have been, but they need to be very specific for me to want to jump into them nowadays. And Octopath Traveler just hasn't really been the thing that grabbed me. So yeah, but yeah, December 4th, 2025 on that. And was there anything else from this Montreal that you were interested in, or
Oh, Cronus. That looks really cool. I think I'm going to check that out.
okay?
That was the third person like horror game that they
Horror
showed out.
game. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So I think I'm gonna check that game out. That game's really cool. But that's pretty
Okay,
much it though.
cool. All right, fair enough. All right, let's move on. All right, our next story here. This is so we talked about this game back when it was announced, and I think everybody had the same view of it, and it's been kind of confirmed here now. Sony is suing Tencent over the game Light of Motiram, which is a terrible name. I hate this fucking name, but this is the game that looks pretty much exactly like Horizon aesthetically. And they are suing them over this, and that lawsuit is actually public. Steven Totillo over at GameFile has a lot of side by sides from the lawsuit of art and assets and stuff. And man, it's pretty bad when you look at it that way. I mean, we all felt that way when this game was first announced, but dude, it's I mean, this is kind of Pal World ish, maybe even worse actually than Pal World. Um, I don't know, Montreal. Do you think that Sony has a case here with this one?
Usually these cases are extremely hard to
They are to win. Yeah.
to win, but you just gotta find the right judge, dude. I'm looking at the trailer for this for Light of Motiram because I kind of wanted to see what it looks like and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I don't know, even down to the way that people dress, it still reminds me, or still very very similar to Alloy and like her
Yeah.
tribe and stuff like that. The
Yeah.
only thing they will probably win on if the judge is like very very specific or whatever, or if the defense or if the lawyers do a really good job, is gameplay. The gameplay is nothing alike
Yeah.
with the two
Right.
games.
That
But
definitely
aesthetically though,
yeah.
it is the same game, but like gameplay wise,
Yeah.
nah, it's two different games. So
Yeah, I think the most interesting part of the story, though, is that it was revealed in the lawsuit that Tencent approached Sony multiple times to make a Horizon game set in Asia, and
mm,
Sony turned them down every time. But they purport in the lawsuit that they were working on this game before they approached Sony to make a Horizon game, which is hilarious. And like super fucking funny. So Tencent decided to make this fucking game, and they wanted it to be a Horizon game, but Sony turned them down. So then they changed everything after the fact, afterwards, to make it differentiated enough. And I don't know how that changes things. It probably doesn't change things that much, but it's like that's a really bad look for Tencent.
yeah,
Because yeah, I mean, they were making a Horizon game, like tacitly making a Horizon game, and Sony said no, so they just like put changed some things up, made some things look a little bit different, but it's just so blatantly fucking, it's so bad, dude.
yeah, it
I
is
don't know.
bad.
Yeah.
I am curious as to why Sony turned this down. I'm looking at the gameplay, and maybe like because we didn't see this trailer before. Well, yeah, I didn't see this trailer before.
Yeah.
It looks actually pretty cool. It looks like a Monster Hunter game almost,
It
kind
didn't
of.
look terrible. I remember when
Yeah,
we first looked at it. I remember saying that too. So,
yeah,
but I think the thing is, Sony's really precious about Horizon. You know,
yeah. It's
um,
so fucking 38 million copies. I still think that's
true. I didn't put that in the news. Yeah, that's actually a good point too. Is yeah, Horizon sold 38 million. They announced as like a franchise, which that's insane.
I mean, you
I
said
mean,
it right though. You said it's the Avatar of video games, and that's
it really is.
100% true, dude.
Yeah. It's like anybody who talks about Horizon for the most part doesn't like it really. Like they're not like over the moon about it. The best you can say is like my point of view of it is like I think they're really solid games, right? But they're not like over that hump of greatness, like true greatness.
Yeah,
Um and I think that's like the best praise for the most part. There are a few people who really love Horizon out there, but I think largely most people feel that way or worse about it. And it's like, but then it's selling 38 million copies. Like, there's a dissonance between the way people feel about it and what the sales are. It's crazy. It's very similar to Avatar. It's very weird, in that regard, but so I don't know. We'll see how this case unfolds. I mean, I do think Sony has a case here. It's just, but the thing is, it's one of those things. Look and feel, dude. Like it's a precedent. You can't, you cannot copyright that kind of thing.
yeah,
They would have to
exactly.
make it exact copies for them to get in trouble, and they didn't actually do that here. As close as it is,
Yep.
it's like
That's what I said. Like it's a very it depends on how much they prove the case. It's but the burden of proof is gonna be on Sony's side.
very heavy, yeah, on Sony's side. Well, it's the same with Power World, right? We were waiting for this exact lawsuit to come from Nintendo, and it never happened, right?
Yeah,
They
Nintendo are
didn't,
like the kings of like suing.
right, and they didn't even try it. They just decided to do some ticky tacky patent shit with Power World, instead. So so Sony might be over their skis here potentially with this, but we'll see how it unfolds. But yeah, 38 million for Horizon Montreal. I mean, I don't know. I mean, like when do you think's enough is enough though? Like when Horizon 3 comes out, like should like really feel like they should end it at that point and move on, but they're not going to, right?
No, man, they're not. So 30 million, bro. You
Ugh,
gotta milk
it's too
that for
much.
all it's worth, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. All right, let's move on to our next story. WB. It's rumored that WB is working on another live service game, and it's coming out of WB Montreal, which is the team that most recently made the Gotham Knights. My fucking
No, I think you have that
remembering
right.
the
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
that's the right
Gotham
name,
Knights.
right? Gotham
Yeah.
Knights, which was the poorly received Arkhamish clone game that was several years ago now at this point. I mean, what was that, 2021, 2020 maybe?
2022.
Um
2022.
2022. Oh, it wasn't that long ago. Okay. A few years ago then, I guess. But it was not very well received. Didn't It actually did decently well though. Like it sold a pretty good amount of copies. But WB not learning their lesson from Suicide Squad though. I mean, we're just gonna keep pounding the live service train until we get a hit, aren't we? Is that? I mean, I don't know much. Like this is ill advised, right?
I think this is one of the dumbest things a company has ever done. I don't even think EA is this stupid. Like this is really stupid. Not only did Gotham Knights fail, but you had Suicide Squad, like you mentioned. And I don't.
Oh, they've had other ones too.
They had
WB.
other ones too. They canceled the Wonder Woman game. The Nemesis system is locked behind a patent from them, so we can't get any games with Nemesis system with the Nemesis
Yeah.
system.
Oh, Multiverses
Yeah,
failed.
multiverse shut
Back
down.
back Back for Blood that also failed.
Oh shit, that was them, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. I think they published that one. Um. So they've had a few. They've had a few screw ups.
Yeah, so I think I don't know who's running the show over there. I think this is a really dumb mistake. Like just
Yeah.
make a single player game and be happy. You know, get the players' trust back before you start. I mean, all
Yeah.
people see is dollar signs, dude. It's kind of crazy.
Right. I think that's the thing that's crazy about it, right? Pursuing these games isn't necessarily a bad idea in and of itself, right? Like this is where the real money is in the industry. If you can actually hit one, it's worth it, right?
Yeah,
But um the thing is, if you have zero goodwill and you're making one of these games, all gamers know it's a cash grab, right? We all know that, right? The key is like you need to make something really, really great. But the thing is, if we know that and you have no goodwill, we're not even going to try your game. We don't care how good it is. You know,
yeah.
it's like, so your game's just going to fucking die on the vine, you know? Yeah, I'm with you. Is like they need to like take a break for a few years, like give us some time to get away from Suicide Squad and all that shit, and like then try this again. You know, it's I don't know. It's
I don't know.
But maybe that's their
I
thought.
think it's
Maybe that's their
I,
thought. This is going to take years to make, right? And by the time it comes out, enough time will have passed that everybody will have moved on, you know, and it'll be fine. But I don't know.
to me personally, it's insulting. I don't know. Um,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just very insulting.
yeah.
Like,
They're just trying to milk us, dude. Like
yeah.
we're just little cows to them with our little
And I mean,
wallets. You know?
and you just don't respect like the art of like those friends. Like you have the most iconic characters in
Yeah,
superheroes,
yeah,
in comic book history. Like comic books wouldn't be a thing if it wasn't because of Superman, and Batman. You know,
yeah,
so
yeah.
like yeah,
Right.
so you have these iconic characters and you just can't do anything with them at all. Like they're the original speedster. Like Flash is that original person. Wonder Woman's their original heroine. Like
Yeah,
uh I don't know what you're like. What are we doing? You know, I don't know. It's just
yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, WB's they've been struggling, and there's been a lot of rumors of them trying to sell their game side for a while, right? Um, and I think I don't know. They're it's crazy. The IP they have access to and the way they squander it is, I mean,
I mean, they still have access to the Matrix, right?
yeah, probably. Yeah, I think they do.
Like, what are we doing?
I don't know.
Like, what are we doing? Why hasn't there been a Matrix game? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, I don't know. There used to be. There were a lot of Matrix games
There
back in the day.
were, but we haven't seen one since the PS2 Xbox OG Xbox era.
Yeah, right.
I mean, why haven't we got another Lord of the Rings game?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. I didn't mean to cut you off, but yeah,
No, I don't think you are. No,
it's
I mean,
just
I don't
it's
know.
just
I don't have a lot.
frustrating.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of insight here. I think you're right. I think this is like let it lie
Why
for
are
a
we
while.
making a live
WB.
service game, dude? Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like
Yeah.
imagine a single player game. Like imagine a remake of Path of Neo or something like that, right? Like
Yeah.
that would instantly sell like 10 million copies. You get Keanu Reeves, I'm pretty sure he'll fucking do the voiceover for it, bro. Like, just get him, just get him. Like, what are
Yeah.
we doing? I I'm sorry. It's just amazing to me how they just fuck up shit. Like, why don't we have another Lord of the Rings game? You know, I don't, and I'm not even a huge Lord of the Rings fan. I love the fucking video games. I play every fucking Lord of the Rings video game except for the MMO. So it's like, why don't we have this shit? And I'm pretty sure there are other franchises that I didn't even fucking mention that people were like, why didn't we have video games with that shit? And it's just like, yeah, why don't we have video games with that shit? But you
Yeah.
want to make another AAA live service game. It's not even, that's, to me, in my opinion, AAA live service shit is a bigger risk than anything else. If I was an investor, I'm like, I'm pulling out. I'm like, no, I'm not in this no more. I'm sorry. Like the
Yeah.
last live service games have failed. The well, they're all like the execs like, well, they're all putting in this good money. Okay, Apex came out in 2021 or 2022 or whatever, or 2020. Fortnite came out like almost 10 years ago now. I think 8 years ago. Call of
Yeah.
Duty Warzone came out in 2021 or whatever. So these are live service games that have already been established, like
Right.
Destiny already established. But
Yeah.
then you look at all the new live service games that came out, and they're barely floating above water. Hell, we just got done talking about Monster Hunter, and that's even though it's like a live service game, it's trying to model itself around that, and it's failing spectacularly. So, like, what are we doing? I just don't understand.
Yeah.
Halo is a live service game now. It was one of the biggest franchises in FPS history, and now it's fucking floundering. So
Yeah.
live service from an investor standpoint, I mean, both me and you are investors. I mean, I would be pulling out my money. Like, dude, what are we talking about? Like, if if I
Well,
was
they
one of
don't
the top,
understand the industry, dude. Like this is the thing. Like this is why I hate video game companies like these the guys at the top of most of these companies, they don't actually understand the industry they're in. Like they're just chasing a trend, you know, and video games have been
yeah,
plagued by this for fucking 2.5 decades, you know. Like we remember WoW, right? Like all the
yeah,
fucking
yep,
MMO copycats that tried to fucking make their own version of it. And it's like, bro, you can't just make WoW in fucking Warhammer and expect it to be better. You know, it's not going to fucking work. Like
yeah,
you need to have more to it than that. You know, it's like they literally sit in a room and they're like, let's just slap this MMO, you know, Warhammer MMO, DC MMO, and we'll beat WoW. And it's like, no, you won't. You know, and I think the live service games have the same problem, right? These companies are just they're modeling their games after previous games. They're not being innovative, you know? Like the reason Fortnite is huge is because it was innovative. You know, it was new and it continued to evolve itself to the point that it's completely unfucking recognizable now. Like it's
exactly.
insane. You know, it's like they stayed ahead of the curve, right? And that's the reason they're still relevant. That's what these companies don't fucking get. Like, and it's so frustrating to see because like I don't again I've said this many times, I don't have a problem with these companies pursuing live service, but you have to do it a certain way. You can't just like put all your eggs in that live service basket. You don't want all your fucking studios making live service games. We've seen this with fucking Sony, right? We're getting no first party games from this generation because they squandered all their studios making live service games that didn't
Yeah,
come out or did come out and were total shit. You know, it's like you can't put all your eggs in that fucking basket. You need to be buoyed up by something else. And that in most cases is going to be single player games. If you can do that, then yes, you can have one or two live service projects, you know, incubating on the side. That's not a problem. It's just you can't be your whole strategy. You know, I don't understand how these companies are even staying afloat doing this, by the way. They lose millions and millions and millions of fucking dollars, you know, hundreds of millions of fucking dollars. It's like, it's crazy because I I don't think live service is inherently bad. It's not. But
it's
corporate
just time. It's the time and
corporate
place, man.
companies make it inherently bad because of the way they operate. They don't think about making a good game. They're literally not thinking about making a good game. Like they're thinking about trying to make a game that can make maximum money. And when that is your that is your goal for a creative endeavor, especially with video games, that is going to show through in your game design. It always has and it always will. You know, it's just the way it works, and they don't get that. So they take the wrong messages from a game that's successful. I mean, WB is a perfect example, right? Hogwarts Legacy is this super successful fucking single player game. What are we going to do? We're going to pursue a live service Harry Potter game. Why?
Why?
What what correlation is there between a successful single player Harry Potter game and the idea that you think you can make a successful live service Harry Potter game? What's the correlation? What's the connection there? There isn't one. You're just like, Harry Potter is popular. We're gonna make a live service game and it's gonna work. It's like, no, that's not how it works, dude. Like, it's just like, I don't know. I don't think these guys have the nuance of the industry very down. They don't really understand their market that well. I think that's the reason we keep seeing this mistake being made over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And I don't know. It's going to take one of these big publishers going down like big time. I mean, Ubisoft, you know, WB is another one. Like, frankly, I don't know how like long-term WB works, you know, like they I could see them closing, and it's like when that happens, like the rest of these companies like almost need to take note, you know, and like really examine why that's happening, you know. There's spending 300 million to make 500 million isn't a good business model either, right? Like when we're seeing that, that's why Sony's pursuing live service, you know, for the most part. But
Yeah.
but that's the problem though. They're not thinking about the underlying problem. They're spending 300 million to make 500 million. Can we figure out how to make that 300 million 100 million and then we make 500 million? And it's like, that's much more sustainable, you know? No, we're going to go pursue live service to try to make all the billions, you know? And then we can do whatever we want forever and ever and ever. And we're just going to grow infinitely. And it's like, okay, I mean, you're searching for the Holy Grail. Good luck. You know, it's like your IP's not strong enough to carry these games. And I think that's the thing that frustrates me with all these companies. They think their IPs are stronger than they are. Like, gamers are gonna go to strong, like, big IPs, like we you know, big Marvel game, Harry Potter game. But again, if it's not good, we're not going to play it. We had a Marvel live service game. It fucking floundered too. It was a complete fucking disaster. You know? It's like, so that's like, these things should be sending messages to these companies. And I just think they have the like sports team mentality where they're like, you know when like a player is like highly touted and has like high pedigree, like they're the first overall draft pick, right? And they were a
Yeah.
disaster with their team. And then like another team is like, oh, we can fix them, you know, and they never do most of the time. That's what I think game companies do too. They think they can do it right, but the reality is they can't, you know. But they just convince themselves that they can, and that's why we're in this perpetual cycle with companies like WB. It's just like they fail miserably and they take no lesson out of it, and they're just like, well, let's try it again and we're gonna do it right this time. You know, it's like that's their messaging, and it's like, okay, sure, buddy, yep, you'll do it right this time. I'm sure you fucking will. You know, you're definitely gonna get it right this time. You know, it's like, but most of the time the answer is no, you're not. You know, it's like, there's only so many gamers, there's only so much interest out there, and a lot of that interest is already taken up by other games. You know, and last point here, I've gone on a bit of a rant, but it pisses me off even more. Like, this is where like modern companies, I think, are really stupid in the way they operate a lot of the time. Is they think when they have a market, they have it on lock, and like they don't have to do anything to continue to have that market, you know, which is not true. It's just not the way markets work. Like, if somebody else comes in and does what you do better than you, they're going to take your business, you know.
Yeah.
But the other thing that annoys me even more is when they look at growth vectors, they don't they often don't recognize the correct growth vectors. They'll like go for things that don't make sense for them, you know. And I think that's another issue in the game industry, is that's like Sony did that with this live service initiative. Is dude, like, again, I wouldn't have had a problem if you had one or two studios working on a live service game, right? But you made everybody in your entire stable work on one, basically, is from what we understand at this point, you know? And it's like, I mean, that's fucking insane. Like, what were you thinking? You know, it's like I don't understand how these decisions get made. It's like, I mean, we're talking about huge amounts of money being moved to make this shit, and Concord happens. You know, it's like I don't get it. How do you get there? But it just is what it is. Corporate entities are really hard. They're not agile. They can't pivot quickly. That's ultimately probably the problem with a lot of them and why we end up here. They make a decision and then they just kind of go forward with that, you know. They don't reevaluate at any point. They don't rethink it. They don't rescope it. They're just like, this is the idea and we're going to go forward until we finish the idea, you know.
Yeah, it's
And
just
I
it's
don't know.
stupid,
It
but
doesn't work. It doesn't work, you know. So we'll see what this game is probably in 5 years, or it will be canceled in 2 years, and we'll talk about that on the show. So, okay, let's move on, Montrell. Our final story, which hilariously is a live service game. Splitgate 2 is going back to beta. Is going to undergo a massive rework. They've done some layoffs, however, as well as part of this. So the company is not doing very well. 1047 Games, and they are shutting down Splitgate 1 as part of this. So I mean, you know, this is I haven't played Splitgate, but this is a like the game's supposed to be like Halo meets Portal from what I've seen of it and what I understand of it. But the game's not doing well. It came out earlier this year. It was June 6th this year, so it's been about 2 months, close to 2 months, since this game came out, and it has just not been received very well. Apparently, they kind of missed the boat, or like forgot what got them there, and they kind of changed a lot of things about Splitgate 2 that people liked in Splitgate 1, and that wasn't received very well. So the game's not doing well as a result, resulting in this situation where they have to go back to beta, and they're planning to come back out in early 2026. They're promising big sweeping changes to the game, and we'll see if that actually happens. But I mean, given what we were just talking about, you know, isn't it funny that, you know, it's like, and it's another live service game that's kind of failing.
yeah,
Um,
I mean, like you said, this was one where everyone loved Splitgate. For a lot of people who love Splitgate 1, a lot of people try to get me to play. I wasn't really into it, but I saw the potential there,
yeah,
and I didn't play Splitgate 2, but um, yeah, it just looked like it didn't look like the game that people wanted,
yeah,
unfortunately. And
right,
uh I believe there was some stuff with like microtransactions or something like that as well, where it's supposed to
yeah,
be not supposed to be in the game, or I don't know how they were gonna do it or something like that.
yeah,
But pretty much the creator who had a hat that said "Make FPS great again" at the award show, pretty much went back on everything he said
yeah,
when they announced this game, and yeah, it was just a disaster and everything like that. So I I
yeah.
mean, I would actually do some research to see why it went bad as bad as it did.
Sounds like a lot
But
of reasons, honestly, but people were saying the game doesn't feel finished.
mm,
Like it feels like a beta still, and they went away from what Splitgate 1 was too much as well. But it seems like it's a lot of things though. It's not just one particular thing necessarily. So um but I mean, this is a cautionary tale though, right? To what we were just talking about, is even if you have a successful live service game, how easy it is it for you to fuck it up? You know? It's so easy. You release one update that people hate and they're fucking gone, bro. They're going to go find something else to play. It's more fun. You know, it's like, it's as simple as that. It's like, I don't know. So it is not a good, it doesn't feel like a good environment to be releasing a live service game in right now. It really doesn't.
Yeah,
But
it just looks like microtransaction pastel pink color slop. Like
yeah,
like
like
I don't know.
Destiny when they had the what was that? Was it the neon expansion they had?
Yeah, and they were trying to like cash in on like the bright colors of like Fortnite and stuff. Like that's what I think when I see stuff like this. I'm like, you're just trying to cash in on the vibrant colors of like the Fortnite wave and stuff like that. And
Yeah,
that's what this game looks like it's trying to do as well.
yeah, yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if this game can dig out of the hole it's in, potentially. But um, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it just is a cautionary tale. It's like, I mean, you can do it right, for a while, and then you can start screwing it up just as easily. You know, um, as much as gamers are loyal, a lot of the time, I think they're also they're not going to put up with being treated poorly and taken advantage of necessarily.
Yeah,
Um, and for good reason. Like, if your game is not known for microtransactions or a certain type of microtransactions, suddenly putting it in is just not a good look. Like Monster Hunter is a good example, right? Like, dude, the amount of DLC for Monster Hunter nowadays is fucking insane. Like, you've seen all like the armor sets and shit you can buy and stuff.
yeah. I mean, even
Um,
though it's layered armor, it's like I don't know, man. I just feel icky that with all that shit in my
yeah, but
game.
we've always talked about the armor looks like shit sometimes in these games,
Yeah,
and it's like, are they holding back on good designs, to sell as DLC? It's like maybe, you know,
yeah. I mean, maybe they're not, but like the armor designs are such shit that now we got these conspiracy theories in our head. You know what I'm saying? And that
yeah,
shouldn't be a thing.
right,
Um, I don't know, man. It's just like video games are an art form, and unfortunately, money is ruining the art forms right now, and video games is one of them, in my opinion. I don't know, man.
yeah,
I do think
well,
gamers need to be have a more of a backbone,
yeah,
to not buy these type of games. But I also feel like developers should stop treating us like idiots.
yeah,
Or not treating us like idiots, but treating us like they're above everything, if that makes sense. Like they know what's best for us. Like the 200 year experience meme, right? Like how we always talk about that shit, right?
yeah, yeah,
And like that meme was like prevalent because right, a rioter who I think he's no longer with Riot anymore, but literally said like, we're better than you guys. We know what's best. We've been designing games for a combined 200 years experience here. Like we know what we're doing.
yeah,
You don't. You just play the game. And
yeah,
I don't know. Just because I don't drive, just because I don't build a car, I know how a car should drive. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
yeah, yeah. One more thing with this game too, I forgot about is the CEO went out at Summer Games Fest and wore a "Make FPS Great Again" hat
Yeah,
on
yeah,
stage.
yeah. I mentioned that
I forgot
earlier.
about
Just
that. I
yeah,
forgot about that stunt. Yeah, yeah, and that didn't help the game, dude. Like that kind of thing. It's like so. Um, I don't know. It's so easy to fuck up your game. It really is. Um, when you're League of Legends, maybe it's not that easy, but Splitgate's, it was a nice little story, but it's not like a huge thing, right? I don't think your players are necessarily that sticky when you're this young of a studio, so
yeah.
you got to be more careful with that kind of thing. So, all right, Montreal. Well, that's all we got today for news. Is there anything else you want to talk about before we head out of here?
Nope, that's it.
Alrighty. Well, guys, we hope you enjoyed this episode. And if you did, please like the show, review the show, and subscribe to the show in whatever feed you are listening to it on. And then subscribe to us on YouTube as well. That would really help us out. If you'd like to interact with us on Twitter, you can do so at The Players Take. And if you'd want to send us questions via email, you can do so at theplayerstake01@gmail.com. We will answer those on the show. And that'll be it for us, guys. We hope you enjoyed this episode. We will see you next week.